Here's a message to the gaming outsider. Hail to the king, baby.
Greetings, programs, and welcome to episode 270 of The Gaming Outsider, a video game podcast with a focus on our incredible community. It's Monday, November 11th. I'm your host, Scott Clark, and I'm joined, as always, by my fellow co-hosts. First off, a guy who is also enjoying the unseasonably cold weather, winter weather, a little bit early this year, Zach Parkerson. What's up, man?
Well, it was fall yesterday, winter today. Perfect.
What was the swing, like 46 degrees for you or something like that?
Yeah, something 45 or something like that. Sliding around on the ice, on the sidewalks and stairs. It's great. It's a lot of fun. It's like a challenge to walk.
I swear, I drove out just to go drop off a Redbox game rental, which we'll talk about later. And I swear, I know that every year when it snows, some people just forget how to drive in the winter, but I was not expecting our government to forget how to salt the roads, because the roads have just been awful today. I don't get it. Like, I know it's November, but salt still works in that month, doesn't it?
No. Apparently not.
I don't get it. But yeah, welcome to winter. It's only November 11th and we're already getting this much snow. I think we are in for a wicked winter this year, but I'm not looking forward to it. Anyway,
you get a white Christmas.
A white Thanksgiving. Oh, it's just ridiculous. Anyway, Zach, thanks so much for being here. Also joining us, a guy who surpassed my game score today on Xbox Live, Mr. Chris Berensmeyer. What's up, man?
Hey, man. How's it going?
It's going all right. You feel pretty proud of yourself?
Yeah, for like 5 minutes, and then you took it back.
What's funny is
this is still big news. Everyone, this is big news.
Yeah, it is. He's been creeping up on me for quite a while. I think he's got like 7,000 achievements points this month already, and I've got like 2.
I think it was like, it was like 9,000 last month, and then 7,000 so far this month.
Yeah, so it's not slowly creeping up on me. He's been gaining for sure. So
yeah, but
I gotta stand my ground. I want to hit 200 before you do.
Yeah, that's the real fight. But luckily, you go back to work tomorrow, and I don't.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you'll get there before I do. No. I don't have that nice of a schedule that you do. So
yeah. Before we move on, I want to say Happy Veterans Day.
Yes.
So to all of our listeners out there who are veterans, Happy Veterans Day. So
yeah, appreciate your service, and thanks for the day off. I rather enjoyed it. So, speaking of playing video games, Zach, you missed out again, man. Not being in Rockford just did not pay off for you again this week.
It hurts, it hurts.
It does. I got to give a shout out to Mr. Brian Regals and Isai Munoz. We actually hung out with them up in Menominee Falls this weekend at a place called Garcade. If you want to check out this place, this arcade is legit. It is thegarcade.com, thegarcade.com. And Brian was nice enough to invite us up there, and I did not realize it, but he actually paid for our admission. He bought us pizza. He's just like the nicest guy, and it was an awesome time. CB, you had a good time too, yeah?
Yeah, and Spencer came with us too.
Yes, he did, and Brian paid for Spencer as well. It was just it was awesome. It was a very nice gesture, and we just got some really awesome listeners. This family is amazing, and shout out to Jack as well. That's Brian's son. He's like the nicest, sweetest kid, just super polite. I think towards the end of the night, I was dragging a little bit, and I think Jack went to his dad and said, "Hey, Dad, don't forget they have to drive back home to Rockford because it was like an hour and a half drive or something." He's like, "You might want to mention that it's okay for them to go if they want to go home and sleep." And I just thought he was a great kid. They're awesome people.
Yeah.
Did you play anything fun out there, man?
Well, I played Galaga as always.
Yeah, I played Star Wars as always. So,
and then me and Spencer had like a really fun time making runs at the leaderboard in Joust.
Yeah, I saw you guys at that machine for quite a while, going back and forth. That was I destroyed you the first game, and then I just walked away. But
yeah, so we also found out that I'm better at old school pinball than you.
The old school pinball, yes. Those tables they had some pinball tables there that I swear were like 3 feet wide. And the incline is a lot less than normal pinball tables that I'm used to, so it makes the ball feel very floaty. And yeah, I could not wrap my head around it. But I played a table based on Jurassic Park that I'd never played before. I really dug that table. I played a Street Fighter 2 table that I've never played. It's not the one from Pinball FX. It's very, very different.
Yeah.
But I really enjoyed that one quite a bit. So what was the one that was a blatant Top Gun ripoff?
Oh, Gold Wings.
Gold Wings. I mean, Zach, you should see this. You know how they got the placard behind the pinball machine that has like whatever movie or whatever it is?
Sure.
It has an F-14 Tomcat, and there's a dude on a motorcycle with glasses and a blonde girl standing behind him. It's so blatantly Top Gun without being Top Gun. It was hilarious. I was so angry I didn't even play it. Like it was like,
I mean, that's funny. You got away with that ripoffs in the arcades, right? That's just par for the course.
yeah, there's a lot of them though. So anyway, thanks again to Brian and Jack and Isai for meeting us up there, and we had a really good time. And I didn't know Topper's Pizza was still a thing. I used to go to Topper's when I was a kid.
Oh, really?
And it's still up there, so that was pretty cool.
Shout out to the Toppers in Chicago that was next door to my GameStop, where I would give them posters and they would give me wings.
I didn't even know Toppers had wings. That's how long it's been since I've been to Toppers.
Oh yeah, man! Fun quick story. The guy who cooked the wings over there, he's trying to make his own homemade hot sauce, so I was his guinea pig.
Oh yeah, how'd that work out?
It was awesome because he kept trying to make it spicier because he wanted to beat me, but I kept finishing him.
Oh,
It was a fun little game.
hey, whatever gets you free wings, right?
Exactly, I got the free wings as well. Perfect.
Also, I want to give a shout out to another business that we had some interaction with this week. Spencer was out in Iowa. He was working, and he stopped at a place in Des Moines called Jay's CD and Hobby. And Spencer has my list of the games that I need to finish my NES collection. And he took my list with him, and he found, like 21, 22 games that were missing from my collection. And this guy hooked us up, gave me something like a 13% discount, super friendly, and they've got apparently 3 locations out in Des Moines, and Spencer said it is an incredible place to go. You want to check it out. They have a website that you can go to. It's jayscdandhobby.com, JAYSCDANDHOBBY, and I just want to give them a shout out for hooking us up, and thanks to Spencer for keeping it out for me. I am now officially under 100 cartridges, guys.
Congrats. Welcome to the club.
Yeah, I still got to get them on the shelf, and you still got to clean them for me.
Yep. Took them apart today and took a nice look at them. They all look in good shape. So
nice.
Like I said, I was a little worried about Swordmaster because I know that one tends to get reproed a lot.
Yeah, looks legit though.
Yep, it's all good. So
good to hear. Yeah, I'm getting closer. I thought I was out of the game because you remember I sold you like 5 from my collection to help you finish yours, and I just kind of decided I was out of the game at that point. But I'm back in it, baby.
Yep.
You lied to yourself.
I did.
Well, it's funny because I told you were like, I'm out, I'm done. I'm like, no, you're not. You'll be back.
You're never out.
When I saw how much you dropped on a copy of Little Samson, I was like, there's no way I'm ever going to be able to do that. But the DJ business has been good to me, so I've had a little extra scratch to kind of pick away at the collection. So
see,
here we are.
You say you won't buy it, but then when it's the last one you just need that last one. You'll pay whatever it takes.
Probably.
Yeah.
I think CB said that once you get under the 50 mark is when it starts to get real.
Yeah, like I think once I hit 50, it was like, all right, I just want to get this done. But you surprisingly, like once I got under that 50 mark and I was like, yeah, I'll just pay whatever. I actually found more deals in those last 50 than I did in the entire chase. So
that's weird. Huh. And I'm not really like looking hardcore. I just kind of, whenever I go to a shop, I stop in and see if there's anything I need, but I'm not actively, I don't have like eBay alerts like you do. But
yep. Hey man, got to stay on top of the game.
Absolutely. Well, let's go ahead and jump into the week's news. What do you guys say?
Yeah.
First off, I don't even know if this is considered news, but Ubisoft has a Twitter account from Spain that made a tweet this week that I think got Zach a little excited. Although I'm not sure. What do you think, Zach? What did you think about this post?
Right, so they tweeted out a picture of Sam Fisher's handsome mug with just the translated words, "You need to understand the darkness to face it." I think Ubisoft needs to stop this crap. All right? Every few months they tease out a Splinter Cell or some kind of Sam Fisher related announcement. They put him in Ghost Recon, which it seemed like the biggest FU to the fan base I could imagine.
Yeah.
Like, they go get Michael Ironside back for some Ghost Recon DLC, but don't actually make a game or anything.
So are you convinced that they're up to something at this point, or are you still skeptical?
I mean, I trust Yves Guillemot when he was talking about how they don't really have a Splinter Cell in production because they don't know, like, the new teams are intimidated. They don't really know where to take the franchise, and they know how much Sam Fisher means to people because they recast him in Blacklist, and that did not go well.
Right.
So I trust that they're still figuring it out. But I think if you're still figuring it out, you need to understand and respect the fan base a little bit.
Do you really think? Why is this so disrespectful, though? I mean, it's a Twitter account. That's what Twitter's for, is to post stuff about your games, right?
Because it's just another tease on top of a community that you've continued to tease for years.
Well, but let me ask you this. I mean, I understand that his voice is very iconic for that, but even when it didn't, you said the game was still good, right?
Blacklist was okay.
It was okay. Yeah. Okay.
But I mean, I think Michael Ironside is Splinter Cell to me.
Okay.
Like you could have like a new character in the role. You know, if you like, I would rather they take that route if they want to keep doing Splinter Cells and are afraid to use Sam Fisher incorrectly.
Mm-hmm.
Give me a new Splinter Cell, but it'll never feel the same.
What if they took the route of like a Batman Beyond, like brought Michael Ironside back to like train his replacement?
That is full on what I wanted Blacklist to be. After the ending of Conviction, I was like, oh, I want Sam to be the new voice in your ear, to be the new Lambert. That would be cool. If, like, you're a young Splinter Cell.
Yeah, I could see that.
Have Sam guiding you. That'd be cool as hell.
Well, here's to hoping, man. I hope it happens for you because
yeah, I don't. Anyway, no, I don't think this means anything. I just think, just be quiet already.
You think they were just being Twitter? I mean, just being a Twitter account that posts something about something that they're related to? I mean,
are they? I mean, it's not even a relevant franchise to them.
No.
How would you consider Splinter Cell to be a relevant franchise to Ubisoft? They haven't put one out. They haven't put out one out in almost 7 years now.
Well, we are talking about it, so it's relevant
to
some people.
Us talking about it's not making them any money.
That's true.
Maybe they're just testing the waters
again.
Yeah.
Well, Twitter freaked out a little bit on it, so, and I mean, it's very cryptic. It's very vague.
That Splinter Cell DLC got me to play Ghost Recon.
That's it. Yeah, is it going to get you to play that mobile game that they showed at E3?
I don't think Michael Ironside's voice will be in that. But yeah,
if it were, would that get you to play it?
Yes, 100%.
Okay,
without question. I would pay them 99 cents to unlock Michael Ironside's voice. It's a microtransaction.
Wow.
I'm pretty sure your cap's a little higher than 99 cents on that, but
you're right.
That's just a guess.
$10 just for Fisher one-liners. You better believe I'd pay.
Well, let's go ahead and move on. I got another story I want to talk to you guys about because we got into a little bit of a debate with some people on Facebook about this. But a YouTuber was banned from Fortnite this week for cheating. This guy, he goes by the name of Faze Jarvis. He posted a YouTube video of him using some aimbot software while playing Fortnite. And according to Epic, their response to this was, "We have a zero-tolerance policy for the usage of cheat software. When people use aimbots or other cheat technologies to gain an unfair advantage, they ruin games for people who are playing fairly." And not only did they banned him for life. So he is never allowed to play Fortnite again, which makes me wonder how, I mean, they can track an IP address, I guess, but you could just get a different, I don't know. But he's since removed the video and posted another one telling the world that he's been banned for life, and he actually broke down crying in the video, and it's been viewed something like 6 million times already. So I'm curious, what do you guys think? Rules are rules, or does this seem a bit harsh?
Well, I mean, rules are rules. I'm going to say that first and foremost. However, with Epic being as big as they are, you'd think they would have created some software to prevent people from using this. I know for a fact that like Pokemon Go, they have software in place that doesn't allow you to use cheat software unless you do some like really crazy stuff to get around it. I mean, ideally, like he's banned for life, but he could probably just use like a VPN and just bounce his IP somewhere. But
Right.
at the same time, I actually watched the first video because they were talking about it on the X here in town, and not only did he post a video, but his mom posted a video.
Yikes!
Like,
I didn't see that. What did Mom's video say?
like, it was just like chastising people. Like, oh yeah, like this is what he loves to do. It's a game. Guess what? You get banned from Fortnite. There's like how many other battle royale games out there? Go play something else. Like it's one game. Who cares? I know everybody's like all up on Fortnite's nuts and everything, but you got caught cheating. Guess what? You cheated. Your fault.
Zach, what's
Yeah.
your take on this?
No, I mean it's if you want to make a living off of something, you should probably follow the rules associated with it. Maybe maybe give the guy like a one strike policy, but they're a zero tolerance company, I guess. I would probably have given him one more chance for Epic. But it's a pretty dumb move to advertise your cheating to the company that is feeding your family.
Well, if I remember correctly, even the match that he got caught in using the aimbot software was a casual match. It wasn't even a competitive match.
Well, and that was brought up my point, which is what I brought up on Facebook, and I've since kind of been turned away from this line of thinking, but I still want to share it because the Fortnite World Cup was recently, like a couple months ago or something like that, and there were a couple guys that got caught cheating. They were basically colluding. You're not allowed to collude on Fortnite. They got caught in a tournament that they're playing for money, as a massive prize, not a casual match. They got caught not using aimbot software. They were not that kind of cheating, but they broke the rules. Is it a different rule? Yes, but they broke the rule, and they got banned for 2 weeks for cheating in a tournament.
But it's a real sport then. If the top level athletes who bring in the most money get a slap on the wrist, and the little guys get kicked to the curb.
That's a good point.
But here's my thought behind it. Okay, you're colluding with another player. You are talking like, okay, the guy you're looking for is over there. So you're basically screen watching. This guy went as far as to implement an outside software to change the rules of the game.
Right.
So to me, that's a bigger offense than screen watching.
In a casual match?
Well, here's the biggest problem though, is he got caught using the aimbot software. What's to say he wasn't using it in a competitive match?
Right. I think the more egregious thing that he did was broadcasting it on YouTube to however many kids that are going, oh, hey, that's something that I can do. And he's basically showing that it's cool to cheat. That I get. And forgive me, whichever Facebook member called me out on that and made that point. I agree. That is the more egregious thing here, is that he's basically telling all these kids that are even younger than him that this is something cool to do to make your game better, and it's not.
He's advertising cheating software.
Right, exactly.
Guess what? If you need to use cheating software to get good at a game, clearly you're not good enough to just play it regularly.
He was just checking it out, man.
Sure. I'm sure he wasn't.
My thing, though, the last thing I'll say about it, and it sounds like I'm defending the guy. I'm not. I actually like that they called him out on this and are standing so firm on it. But on the other hand, this is a kid, man. If I got held accountable for the rest of my life for all the dumb stuff I did when I was a kid, I wouldn't be where I am today. At what point do we, I think that I think the rules need to be more clear cut. There needs to be something that has to be read, or nobody reads the user agreements. But there needs to be consistency in this kind of stuff. I mean, the whole Blizzard thing, that's a whole different topic, and for different reasons, obviously. But there needs to be consistency on it. This is one guy that got caught. How many other people have got caught using aimbot software? They got the same thing. Why are we looking at this one? Because he put a video of himself crying on the internet?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, pretty much, right?
Well,
Isn't that why?
I actually just looked this up. You called him a kid. He's 18.
Well,
Scott's
I know
going to
he's,
keep saying kid.
I know. So,
Because he's an old man, that's why.
I mean, granted, he was 17 when the infraction occurred, but
Oh.
but here's the thing.
So he's legal in some states.
Here's the thing, though. You got caught cheating. You made the conscious decision to cheat, whether it was casual or competitive. Plain and simple, Billy Mitchell. You got caught cheating, suffer the consequences.
Yeah, but he's a grown-ass man, dude.
So, I mean,
Done.
this person is an adult too, Scott.
I know he's an adult. He's
Don't
technically an
diminish
adult.
people.
He
He could have lived twice the life you have. You don't know.
But once again, he made the conscious effort to go out of his way to cheat. You had to go find this software, install it, and use it, even though it is clearly stated. And how many other games have you seen people get banned or a
Right.
suspension? So the fact that you know what the consequences are, but you went ahead and made the conscious decision to go out of your way to cheat. It's your own damn fault. Deal with the consequences. Move on with your life.
I don't disagree. I think there needs to be a not punishment. You got to own up for what you did, for a mistake you made. But for life,
Yeah,
I mean,
I agree. That seems a little insane.
Nope. If your first reaction is to go on the internet and make a video crying, clearly you need to rethink the priorities in your life.
It's also, I don't know, it's so tough. He's making his life off playing Fortnite. Like, why did you cheat?
Exactly.
You had the cushiest gig, man.
well, the impression I get is he wasn't. And again, I'm maybe reading between the lines here. He was making a fun video, a quote fun video, showing how this worked. It wasn't like he was streaming to try to win. It was like, hey guys, look at this is how this stuff works, which honestly is probably what Epic has a bigger problem with, because he, like I said earlier, he's showing other people how to use this. The kids that aren't streaming, that that are playing just for fun and are looking for any way to win because they want to be cool with their friends, and how many kids are going to download this stuff and do it them? That's the bigger problem. And I get it.
I feel like we're talking about drugs.
I know, right?
Here's the thing. If you're going to go out of your way to cheat, it would probably be a good idea to not be on your account or your IPN. Like, go to an internet cafe, use a different account, and then make the video.
That is why I keep using the phrase kid instead of adult, because
He's a man.
I understand he's a man, but he's acting like a child.
Clearly, by the crying internet video. I'm sorry.
Men are allowed to cry too, CB.
No, I'm okay with that. But if you're going to cry over the fact that you can't play a video game anymore.
Yeah, and you made the point earlier that there's plenty of other games out there.
Go play PUBG.
Segue this guilt, like this compassion people are feeling for you, and start a Apex Legends channel.
There you go.
This could actually be a good thing for him. He could,
Right.
Except that they're going to be watching him like a hawk.
Well, maybe he can go play a different game, redeem himself, and then be like, "Hey, look, I'm clearly trying to turn my life around. Can I play Fortnite again?"
Yeah, he could treat this as a publicity stunt for his channel if he did it right.
Tim Seeley will say no, or Sweeney, Tim Sweeney.
Yeah. So, like I said, it's Fortnite. Who cares?
A lot of people, man. That's the thing, is none of us play Fortnite.
Not
I get it.
This guy.
But
Well,
the game is
turns
still
out
huge.
you're in the wild minority, my friend.
Meh. Whatever.
I got one more story I want to talk about before we go on to our topic of the week. Sony This is funny because CB actually brought this story up to me when we were driving up to Milwaukee. Sony wants to move PS4 players into a PS5 faster than they have during any other generation. And what was my exact response when you said that to me, CB?
Water is wet.
Yeah, like no kidding. Of course they want to get you into a PS5 faster. Now, granted, there's a little bit more than hey, we want to sell you a PS5. It has to do with how the developers are making the games for the console and how easy the code's going in. Here, I'll give you a quote from Jim Ryan, who's the head of PlayStation. He told GamesIndustry.biz, "These are gamers who are networked and sticky and engaged and passionate about PlayStation to an extent that we've not seen in previous generations. As we move towards the next generation in 2020, one of our tasks, probably our main task, is to take that community and transition it from PlayStation 4 to PlayStation 5 and at a scale and pace we've never delivered on before." Now, again, that sounds very much like we want to sell PS5s faster than we sold PS4s. Well, right. But he went on to say, quote, "One thing that makes me particularly optimistic that what we're hearing from developers and publishers is the ease in which they are able to get code running on PlayStation 5. It's way beyond any experience they've had on any other PlayStation platform." I think that was the bigger part of this story, is that the developers are having an easier time getting games on this hardware than they did on PS4. I think the title of the article that I read was a bit misleading in that, well, of course we want to get them in, they want to get us into a PS5 faster, but I think that he's saying that the games are going to be on the console faster. We're going to see them come out more frequently. That's my take. What do you think?
I think I think you have to, because I feel like PS4 this generation, I feel like the discourse is everyone is a lot more comfortable with staking around longer. Like we need more of an incentive to go to PS5 and Xbox 92 or whatever they call it.
Right. The Scarlet.
Yeah, I just feel like people are so really satisfied with their consoles.
I can't disagree with you, man. I would be fine if we stuck with the Xbox One and PS4 for another 3-4 years.
Yeah, especially with the mid-generation refresh that we got.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that really extended things, and yet the consoles will be on the market shorter than PS3 or 360. And I know that's because of the economy crashing or whatever while those consoles were out, but I think people kind of got used to that longer life cycle, and especially now, like the consoles, they run so smoothly most of the time anyway. And yeah, you just don't really, I'm not feeling that like, excitement, I guess, to jump ship. Like the PS4 was coming out, I was like, "Ooh, show me the magic, man!"
Right.
PS5, I'm like, "Yeah, I guess I'll upgrade because I have to."
Yeah,
Yeah.
I really wish Sony would do something to like really impress me. Like you see Microsoft making all these moves, like to benefit the next generation, and I'm impressed with a lot of the moves they're making with the studios they're picking up, and just a lot of the strange moves, like the basically rent to own console that they're doing, and with Game Pass and Game Pass Ultimate. I want Sony to do the same thing. Like I want Sony to succeed because I want Xbox to succeed. I want Nintendo to succeed. Like I want all consoles to do well. Like even when the Amico comes out, I want it to do well because I like having the diversity. But there's been very little that Sony has done to make me like really want to get a PlayStation 5.
Well, to push back on you a little bit, because I know we got a lot of Sony fans that are just screaming at their stereos right now at you. But
hey, I'm the PlayStation fan here.
I know.
I can tell you, Microsoft is doing everything right.
You're not wrong. I'm not saying that, but you got to remember also that Sony already has the studios. They've got the development team. They've got the first party game. They've been the only one that's had first party games between Xbox and PS4. Xbox hasn't done anything. I can't say anything. They've done very far less than Sony did. So they're not in a position where they need to acquire those new things. Are they doing things right with the Game Pass? Yes. And the rent to own console? Sure. I could see either of those things happening with the PS5.
I can't because of the hubris that's going on over there.
What do you mean?
Like with the statements of we don't need to court indie developers anymore.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, they're kind of anti-indie.
They need us. We don't need them. Like they're saying those kinds of things, which is dangerously close to the kind of rhetoric of, yeah, sure, it's $600, but we expect people to get a second job for the PlayStation 3. Like or you know, we have a product for people without internet. It's called the Xbox 360. Like Sony is getting dangerously close to that territory again.
You're not wrong. Man, it's going to be an interesting E3 this year.
Not to mention, that is quite possibly the most hideous console I've ever seen.
That cannot be the shipping product.
I hope it's not, because that thing is hideous.
It can't be. That is ugly.
I really have a hard time believing that is. I know that you're convinced that it is, CB, but man.
Well, apparently the dev units you're getting from websites that are reporting on their sources or whatever, the developers that have it, apparently that is what the dev kit looks like. Okay,
I could buy that. The dev kit looks like that. But the dev kits for current consoles look a lot different than the actual consoles,
not
too.
Not really.
Yeah. The Xbox, we've seen Xbox One dev kits, right, in person, Scott, haven't we?
Yeah,
they look almost identical, other than the LCD screen on the front.
Yeah,
they kind of look like a VCR. Well, I guess the Xbox One does kind of look like a VCR.
Yeah, it does.
So I haven't seen a PS4 dev kit, so I can't compare it.
Yeah, well, it's not going to stop anybody from buying a PS5, right? Honestly,
$700 might.
Well, that's just not going to happen, man.
I think that's really going to be the deal breaker on this generation. I think that both are going to come out with just a ridiculously low price point. I think if they want to get the numbers they want, they got to go $399. But yeah,
I'm worried they're going to try to push to $499.
But imagine if they just came out and did a Nintendo and said $299. I know it's not going to happen, but you know how happy everybody would be?
Sure. Well, can you imagine the loss they're going to take on the hardware, though?
Well, yeah, that's the idea.
You usually take a small loss or break even on your hardware because you're going to make up for it in the software.
Yes, right. I understand that. I'm just saying that feels like it would be a substantial loss.
So, but at the same time, it wouldn't be the first console to come out at $700.
Might be the last.
So,
I think you're more likely to see $400 and then video games cost $70. I think that's more likely.
I think that makes more sense.
I'm still waiting for the slight dip. If it was physical copies at $70, okay, sure. Digital copies at $60. I'm still waiting for that. So
I don't know why that isn't a thing, honestly.
Because you make your retailers mad. If you want these shops to sell your consoles, because that's how people buy consoles. But the retailers are not going to stock your consoles if you're undercutting them on the digital storefront.
I'm actually amazed that neither Microsoft nor Sony has just come out and said it's going to be an all digital platform.
Well, because that worked out so well for Microsoft last generation.
Yeah.
Well, and again, where you would have to buy it from a Microsoft store. Because Walmart is not going to carry your Xbox One if they can't make any money off the software. If they're just forwarding a box to people and losing the giant video game revenue that they have,
what are you talking about?
Why would they stock your console?
Walmart does now. They actually have a whole wall of the little buy this placard.
They do because they have physical copies that they can that they get a 33% cut of.
That's true.
So you're okay playing a little bit of ball, but if the console holders are just straight up like, well, you're not going to make any money off this console, what in the hell would Walmart want that unit for?
Interesting.
Why can't
they get the same? Why can't they get the same kickback on a digital copy?
I mean, the mysteries of the digital storefront are bewildering to me.
I mean, you could just really redo that whole thing instead of having the little cards that you got to scratch off and then punch the number in. You know, I want to buy this. You got all the little. Remember like Toys R Us back in the day? They had the little plastic things that you'd see the cover and then you flip it up and see the back of it.
Right.
You know what I mean? What if they had something like that, or just cards? And then if you want to buy one, they give you a little Telzon gun that's attached to the cord, and you hit the one you want. It prints out a little thing that activates when you take it to the register, and they print you your code at the register and take it home and boot it up that way.
I don't know how the cuts. Yeah, because in Walmart, can they price it the way they want to at that point?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I feel like there's so many questions.
Yeah,
and
there's a lot that we don't know because we don't work in that area at all. So
the physical, you know what? Honestly, I mean, I have done my fair share of research into the physical media sales because I care so much about keeping it around. But digital, I guess I have not done my homework as much on.
Well, next week, man, I expect a full report.
Well, that's a lot. I might do it just out of my own curiosity. So who knows? I just remember at GameStop when I worked there, they really did not want you to push the code if you can get a physical copy sold.
Well,
I would love to know what those numbers are.
Well,
I feel like they made like 2 cents off a digital purchase or something ridiculous.
Wow. All right, well, that's going to do it for the news. Let's go ahead and move on before we get to the topic. CB, what is going on with Patreon?
So we have our Final Fantasy episode out, and I believe our Halloween episode will more than likely be out by the time you hear this.
It's out.
Oh, yep. Sorry, my bad. It is out. Sorry, a little late on it this month. Life kind of got in the way last month. This week we're going to be working on doing an episode on Tron, both the movies and the games.
I'm looking forward to that. We're going to watch that tomorrow, aren't we?
Yes, we are. The mysterious Glee episode that we keep hinting towards is coming, I promise.
It's cooking away.
And I believe we're going to try to do a spoiler cast for Control.
Yes, I would really like to do a Control spoiler cast so I can talk to you guys and figure out why I'm so dumb.
Yeah. He's been sending me messages all week like, I don't get it.
What?
I'm in the same boat, Zach. I'm like, how do you not get this?
Are you high while you're playing? What's happening?
No. I mean, we'll get to it. I'm going to talk about Control.
Okay, yeah,
I'll get there, but
this is the guy who still doesn't know how the polar bears got on the island and lost, though. So they explain it about 4 times.
That they
I really don't think they did.
No,
but
they
I'm not going to
They
go
do.
through and watch that show again.
They answer it 3 times during the show and then once again in the epilogue on the DVD bonus features.
Okay, so how did the polar bears wind up on the island?
It's just a Dharma Initiative project. They put the polar bears there, like a zoology project.
Why? What? Like just a zoology project?
Dharma they were doing all kinds of experiments with time travel and food and like sticking a guy in a bunker and making him push a button. Like, there's just all kinds of experiments they were doing.
So they just chose polar bears randomly.
Well, you take something in from an Arctic environment and place it in a tropical environment and see how well it adapts and survives.
Of course. and then Kate and Sawyer banging the polar bear cave.
I do remember that.
Yeah,
what a great first season that show was.
I miss that show.
I mean, what a great 6 seasons that show was. Ugh. There's barely a bad episode in there.
The last one.
I don't like the cork. Otherwise, it's great.
You guys stop, or they're going to ask for a lost episode from us next on Patreon.
I almost did a whole lost podcast with the late Justin McCumber.
Did you?
Yeah.
I'm sure Zach and I would both like to do that.
Yeah. Oh man, yeah.
You guys got enough hobbies. Well, anyway, if any of those episodes, the Tron episode, the Glee episode, our Control spoiler cast, Final Fantasy, Halloween episodes, any of that sounds interesting to you, head over to patreon.com/thegocast. There's a couple levels, but the $3 level will give you access to not only our current content, but our entire backlog of everything we've done for Patreon episodes. So be sure to check out that website to sign up today. We do appreciate the help. With that, let's go ahead and jump into our From the Outside In topic. We missed community questions last week because we wanted to talk about Kojima, so we're back at it this week. As usual, we ask you, the Gaming Outsider community, for video game-related questions, or non-video game-related questions, as it were, and discussion points for our From the Outside In topics. And we're going to go through them now off of Facebook and Discord and answer them. Who wants to start?
I'll take the first one.
All right.
I got a question from Sean Coates. What are some games you didn't break the seal on until long after it was released, but were still surprised by the story or the plot twist? I used to paid absolutely no attention to the Halo series until a buddy of mine one day just gave me his original Xbox, and I finally played the first Halo. I was still caught by surprise with the flood and what happened in 2010. Man.
Oh boy.
There's actually quite a bit. I mean, the fact that we've the Last of Us for me, like that game had been out for a while, and I like played through it, and I was still pleasantly surprised by that game.
Well, I think, I mean, even that opening sequence from The Last of Us, you know, if you just like, oh yeah, I'll check this game out that everybody's been talking about, and then you just fire it up, and that I will never forget the first time sitting down and watching that, and they just flash the words "The Last of Us" on the screen right after that happens. That affected me, man. That was good.
I mean, one of these days I'll finally get around to God of War, the first one.
Oh man,
wow, that's a really good game, and it's only about 4 hours. So
see, I kind of feel like the first one's only 4 hours.
Like 5. It's like 5. It might be like 5 or 6 hours.
I didn't remember that game being that short, but I almost think, CB, that you should go back and start that before you play the new one.
I've already started playing the new one. I got 2 hours in and got bored.
Really?
Yep.
Well, I feel, you know what? I mean, to your point, Scott, a lot of the context, a lot of the story that's going to keep you moving in the newest God of War is based on the context of having played the old ones.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, I do own them.
You have to see.
you
just have to see why Kratos is such a sad, sad boy.
Because he got no hair.
Well, he never did.
He's got bigger reasons, and
there's a reason his skin is ash white.
Yes. Plus, there's some interesting little mini games in between levels.
Yeah, there are. Yeah.
I already know where you're going with this.
I was
knock that vase off the shelf, man.
And it multiple times I knocked that vase off the shelf.
I bet you did.
So, what about you, Zach?
It was mind blowing at the time how sexy the game. I think the first thing that came to mind was Dark Souls. I didn't play that until after Bloodborne came out, like 4 years afterwards. But I still had the moment of you get your first shortcut back to the main area, and you realize that whole map is interconnected. And I remember just going, like, my jaw just dropping. Because they do that so many times where you'll go play 12 hours in another direction, and you'll find an elevator, and it'll take you back to your main hub. And you're like, how the hell did somebody build this complex labyrinth of level design?
And it's not like load screen and then it's actually one giant world.
Just masterfully interconnected.
And
it's mind blowing. People have drawn like diagrams, like maps and stuff online. They're really fascinating to look at. It's just, I mean, there's a reason that Dark Souls 2 and 3 and Bloodborne do not have that intricate map, because it feels like you could not replace it, or you could not replicate it, rather.
Man, that's a game I feel so left out on for not being able to get into, because I have the first one, and I tried so hard, man. I
admit it took me a few hours to get into Dark Souls.
Yeah,
Bloodborne had me right away.
So it'd be like 2 bosses in Bloodborne.
I'm sorry, Bloodborne did not have me right away. I almost wanted to return the game to Best Buy in anger, and then I beat a boss.
Oh,
and then I got high.
Prey slaughtered.
Yes, and I was like, oh well, I want to have this feeling again many times.
Right, that does feel cool. I can't think of one, guys. Honestly, I feel like I haven't broken the seal on something in a long time.
Night Trap.
I feel like Night Trap.
Yeah, how did that hit you?
Well, not the way you'd think, because if you listen to our episode, that game is awful. Like that game is not well designed at all. It's a clever idea that just shouldn't work, and it doesn't. But I had a blast playing that with CB, because we were actually like mapping out, like writing on a physical piece of paper, the order of things to do. So I was reading off what we wrote down while he was controlling the game, and that was fun, right? That was not how that game was intended to be played, I feel, but we kind of turned it into a co-op game almost.
Yeah, I definitely feel that most of the games that we've broken the seal on more recently have been bad games.
Mm-hmm.
So, but yeah, I mean, I've got a few other ones that I didn't play till later. Like, I didn't play Final Fantasy VII until after 9 came out.
Oh wow!
So
Did you finish it?
yeah,
So did the moment do it for you?
I mean polygons and all, man.
Man, that got me good.
Oh, with the air. Okay. Oh, that's right. We can't spoil it because they're remaking it. That's right.
I didn't mean to spawn an argument with you, man.
No. I almost just like casually talked about it. I was like, oh yeah, that's why. I was like, why is he talking about this so strangely? And then that's why.
Some people haven't played it, and the new one's
Hey, you know
coming.
what? Another game, Drakengard.
You've talked about that one before.
I did not play the original Drakengard till many years later, and that has got to be the most messed up game I've ever played.
I will say that I've had the opposite effect when I played Mass Effect for the first time, like a decade after it came out, and
Hard to get into.
very hard to get into. I mean, and it wasn't even like the graphics not holding up, because it's like a 10-year-old game. It doesn't look nearly as good as modern stuff, but I was digging it. I was enjoying the conversation, and the gunplay was pretty fun. And then I got in that stupid Mako, and
oh yeah, sure.
I just put the controller down and never looked back. So,
for the record, don't play Drakengard either. It's one of the worst playing games ever, but I love it to death.
Really?
If I had to give a critical review of it, I'd give it like a 2 out of 10, maybe a 3 out of 10. But it's it was Yoko Taro's first game, and the story is really good. But boy, that game does not play well at all.
All right, let's go on to the next question. Zach, you were
absolutely. The inimitable Kevin Honigford asked, right away when I started listening, I noticed you guys talk an awful lot about the people behind the scenes of video games, which was new to me. This last episode was only completely devoted to one of them. Thanks. You guys are welcome for the history lesson, by the way. This is a world that is new to me. I've always loved video games. They've always been a huge part of my life, but not to sound disrespectful in any way, shape, or form, I have never paid attention to the people behind them. When did you guys start paying attention to this kind of thing? When did you start paying attention to what individuals were making what games and influencing your decision to buy them based on that?
That's a good question. I think for me, it started when I started listening to podcasts regularly over a decade ago. Because I was like Kevin. I just played games I liked. I may have purchased games based on developer names, but I didn't really pay much attention to individual names. Like I didn't really know who Cliff Bleszinski was before Gears, or I didn't play Jazz Jackrabbit or whatever.
Sure.
But nowadays, if you were to make something that wasn't a multiplayer game, I would definitely play it. But when I started listening to other people talk about it, and I started listening to shows like this one, and just feeling, I felt like I was plugged into the world a little bit. Like I was starting to understand how the industry worked, and I started recognizing names and actually looking up specific names to see who was behind what, and saying, oh, this person did that game. And I think podcasting was honestly what got it, which sounds like it's a very similar answer to Kevin's.
For me, it was actually really early on. I mean, 2 names, John Romero and John Carmack.
Mm-hmm.
I've followed both those guys forever, especially like when they both split from one. Romero split from id and then made Ion Storm, and so I actually got a very big into like who was making what games, specifically like games that I was interested in. So probably around like the Doom era for me.
Oh wow.
So yeah, that's kind of when I started following like the behind the scene people, because it's like, hey, this person tends to make games that I like, so I'm interested in them, and then I started following like who their influences were. So
nice. Zach, what about you?
Honestly, well, I don't blame Kevin, first of all, because a lot of early game development was about obscuring the people who were working on them and putting the studio name front.
Right.
Until honestly, probably John Romero and John Carmack were like the first celebrity game developers, right?
Yeah.
So I don't blame you for not knowing. But honestly, for me, I can't remember a time where I wasn't intrigued by this kind of stuff. Even being a kid and learning Shigeru Miyamoto made Zelda, or the fact that like Eiji Aonuma is probably more responsible for the Zeldas you actually love than they ever gave him credit for, with Ocarina of Majora's. Like that kind of stuff was fascinating to me, especially as a kid, I just wanted to write stories, so I always wanted to know who was writing the stories I was playing. I remember like having to get really excited about Sands of Time, even though I had never played Prince of Persia. There was something exciting about reading the like GamePro preview, and they're like, Jordan Mechner's coming back, and I'm like, I don't know who Jordan Mechner is, but I guess he made Prince of Persia, and he hasn't made one in many years, and he's coming back for this one. Like that's a big deal. It means something that he's writing the story for this one.
Mm-hmm.
So it's always fascinating. And obviously, I mean, Hideo Kojima does not let you know that he's made a game. So
Yeah.
So that name came through. I remember being obsessed with the Mustard Brothers when they were making Advent Rising. Like this is something I've always been fascinated with.
Yeah, I mean,
Just
no, go ahead, man.
I was reading GameSpot articles about finding out, game developer names and knowing who the director was, figure out what the difference was between a creative director and a game director or a production director. Like that kind of stuff always fascinated me.
Yeah, I mean, well, I was just going to quickly say, I think my first foray into it, actually, now that I think about it, was the old Atari fan magazine that used to come out with articles from Nolan Bushnell. So, I mean, that was like the first one that I really followed. So
A true player.
Yeah, it definitely took place much later in life for me. I mean, as a kid, with me being a little bit older than you, Zach, I didn't have access to the internet, and gaming magazines were not something that were in my house. It was not easily accessible. I was looked down on for my video game habits, and what I do now, I can listen to a podcast and not bother anybody else with it. If I'm littering the house with magazines or playing a game and not socializing with a family or something, it's so I didn't have that luxury like you did, unfortunately, and I was just trying to get my hands on the games to play them as much as possible. And I read novels more than I read nonfiction stuff when I was a kid, so I really didn't like reading nonfiction when I was younger. Like just reading about something I was interested in learning about. Probably because I was forced to read stuff that I didn't care about reading about.
Sure.
You know what I mean? If I had known that I could go read up about video game developers, I probably would have liked nonfiction a lot more instead of reading about different countries in South America or something.
GameSpot definitely played a big part. I would just read and reread interviews, like the same interviews. Especially like Sam Lake. Like I just saw he was such a fascinating guy, and to learn that he was the director, writer, and also the face of Max Payne, I was like, whoa, this guy really cares.
Right.
That was fun.
Well, thanks for the question, Kevin. That was a good one. We're going to go on to Jacob Gunderson, who says, I pay a lot of attention to world and character models and the programming behind the game. When Assassin's Creed came out and used the idea that the character model would raise a leg to match uneven ground and not just phase a foot away, it was crazy. Now cloths and armor get wet, actions for running up and down hills are very different, and even walking through water changes animations. Are there any games, past or present, that you wish had your character respond to the environment like this?
Jacob, if I got the game for you, play Death Stranding. He walks so many different ways.
You're not wrong.
And stumbles.
Yeah, he does. Very reactive.
Yeah, that's actually a really good call. But I remember playing, I think it was Uncharted 2. It was either Uncharted 2 or Uncharted 3, where Nathan is walking through the jungle, and it's not like a cutscene. It's actually like me walking through the jungle, and there'll be like a big giant green leaf, and he'll like physically push it up out of the way, and then it'll drop back once he goes under it. That just blew my mind. Any other game before that, you run through and your body might hit it and cause it to wiggle in the breeze or something like that. But Nathan actually like picked it up and moved it out of the way and put it behind him. That kind of blew my mind the first time that happened.
Man.
Yeah, I respect the hell out of the specificity of this question, by the way, Jacob. Like it's a very specific thing you're asking about.
Yeah.
But I can't think of it. I mean, it would be cool to go back to Ocarina with that level of interactivity.
That was going to be my answer too.
Yeah, just that game world is so cool to be in.
Well, and we got that remaster of it that was on 3DS, which is really good, but I just kind of want a Resident Evil 2 remaster of that.
Can you imagine of Ocarina? Would that not just be
like an
maybe
Unreal?
Maybe they don't do that because then it would just end video games because you're like, well, you can't do any better than this.
Man, I want that so bad. Like instead of that goofy, I love the game, obviously, but the goofy way he runs, Or when he's holding the hook shot, he like swings it back and forth really fast.
Oh,
you know?
yeah. He does, he has like a weird, his arms do a very weird thing when he's running.
Yeah. And
this side.
When we were at the Extra Life event with the EXP guys up in Milwaukee, somebody was playing Ocarina like on the original 64, not like the newer versions, whatever. And it was shocking to me. It's the first time I had seen it in years, and I remember that game looking so much better than it actually does. It's kind of crazy.
I mean, it's still a beautiful game.
When's the last time you saw it, man?
Huh? Oh, I mean, when I replay that game, it's exclusively on the N64.
Yeah.
Thank you.
See, I played it on the 3DS, and I mean that one. It still looks flat once in a while, you know. But this was like whenever anything would, like the camera would spin around, and the character models would flash because like the lighting effect or whatever would trying to make it shimmer. It just, I didn't remember it looking that low res, but I'm also spoiled by today's standards. So
Yeah, I mean,
but I think his question was which character, what games past or present. You said Ocarina. Did you have any CB?
Resident Evil 1, EverQuest, finally getting Final Fantasy 7 in that regards. So, but yeah, I mean, there's a lot of older ones, but when it comes to like the 8 and 16-bit era, I enjoy those games for what they are. So, I mean, I can't really imagine Super Mario Brothers being remade in that fashion, but so
Can't.
Well, I mean, Super Mario Maker 2.
Right. I mean,
still,
I don't think he's asking specifically about like remasters, because you can't have that kind of environmental interaction in the 16-bit game, right?
right.
The idea of passing under a waterfall and getting wet. You know, I guess Dragon Age Origins, I would love this kind of thing, because I got lost in that world.
The Messenger kind of does some of that stuff.
Wait, is this
In the second half, you talking about?
Yeah.
That was the game that was very 8-bit. It was reminiscent of Ninja Gaiden.
I was getting confused with The Witness. Very different game.
Yeah, very different game.
So, but I mean, some of the character models in that, like, you pass by something and it like kind of attached to you, like you'd walk through like a cloud and the cloud would like come with you a little.
Oh yeah, you're right. I forgot about that.
So
yeah, cool.
So I mean, it can be done. It's just there's some games I like them for what they are, and I just don't ruin them, please.
DC Universe Online. It'd be cool if it felt like you weren't just clicking buttons. It felt like you were actually in Metropolis. That'd be cool.
There was a game that did that. It was called City of Heroes.
Yeah, well, I never played that. It wasn't on PS4. What do you want from me?
Yeah, I missed that game.
Need to be on consoles.
All right, well, let's go on to the next one. We're on Discord now. CB, you're up.
Low sugar attack. So diabetes. In the past decade, there have been few innovative new ways to play games. We've had MOBAs, 1 versus 4 asymmetrical battle royales, but nothing else that is earth-shattering. Are we at the end of innovative game design, or is it the hardware that is the limiting innovation? I still feel that we're still getting some new innovation, but the problem is I do think that it is a little bit of hardware, because when you look at like VR, like there's a lot of stuff being developed for VR, but there's the limitations on what it can currently do, or how we haven't quite figured out how to program it properly. So I think with the new generation, both console, PC, and VR, we're going to start to see some new ways to play things, especially if it does develop into AR. So,
well, my holodeck, man.
Me too.
I mean, look where we were in the video games industry 20 years ago, and how much quicker technology is advancing now than it was 20 years ago. Imagine where we'll be in 10 years, 15 years. I think that's where the innovation is going to come in ways that's going to make games more immersive. I know a lot of people don't like us using the word immersive when it comes to video games. Like you're not actually in the game, but something like a holodeck would definitely make you feel like you were in it. And I have hope that I'm still gonna be alive by the time something like that happens.
I don't know if you saw the article on it, but the new storage format that just recently was teased, where they use glass crystal.
Yes, I did hear about that.
So with the like that being pushed forward, I actually think that opens up like a whole new world for technology innovation. Oh my God, stop it.
Dare close your eyes.
I'm going to smack you both through the internet.
I love that we both thought at the exact same time.
But I think with that, and it's funny because you talk about the holodeck, but you always remember watching on Star Trek when they would like replace circuit boards. They looked like those glass crystal chips that they're using. And
You're
I'm
right.
like, so we're getting closer. We're getting closer.
Wasn't that way in Minority Report as well?
No, because they use those stupid little balls.
No, not for that. Remember when he was watching the videos of his kid?
Oh yeah,
Like the home videos of his kid, he would put those like glass things into a little slot.
Yeah. Once again, at the time, it wasn't a big thing, but the actual like touch top and the tabletop computers that you could interact with, like I've actually seen those now. And, like the fact that those are a real thing, love it.
Well, he was using one that was like in the air though, where he had like a glove that covered 3 of his fingers, and he would like manipulate things and make them bigger.
But it started on the tabletop, and then he would pick it up and like throw it up. So
like Iron Man style.
Yeah. Hey, but back if he's asking about genres, which is what he's referencing here.
Yeah.
I've made the point on the show before that this generation did not really have a new genre.
Battle Royale.
You could kind of give Battle Royale, right? But it still feels almost like a game mode.
It does. But it's developed
but you
into
think
it.
And I will say, if you're talking about the past decade Low Sugar Attack, I think you got to give Minecraft some more credit for what it created. I don't know what the name of that genre is.
Sandbox.
That seems a little broad.
Yeah, considering I hear sandbox and I think open world RPG sandbox.
Yeah, and I guess to some degree, Souls-like became a genre, didn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
But I mean, that existed before Dark Souls though too, not to the same level. But
Yeah.
that kind of melee combat, locking onto somebody, that wasn't a brand new idea.
Right. Yeah. I mean, the structure, I guess. I mean, it's because it's been copied so directly so many times, it does almost feel like a genre with rules. But I take your point. Like, even that is not. There's something about this generation where like we just didn't do that, and I don't. If we were just chasing the technical innovations instead of the gameplay innovations, or maybe because we care so much about graphics and fidelity now, or the developers seem to anyway, that you can't afford to take the risk on a new genre or something different.
I mean, what would you want? I mean, I would love a game where I had to walk across an entire map and balance packages like on my body like that. Like, can we have that?
You know, it's funny you bring that up because that is an amazing idea for a game, and it delivers there in every way.
Oh, man.
And I just, a game like that, I could lose myself in for hours, I think.
Spoiler alert.
So,
later in the episode.
But you know what? I mean, to the point of Death Stranding, which we are alluding to here, it's just games, the budgets are so high that it just, I guess you can't really take a chance on a new genre.
Yeah.
And I don't think the budgets need to be that high. I don't think gamers care as much about graphics as publishers think that we do.
I will agree with you on that, actually. And I think that, coming back to your point about how we're okay with keeping the current console generation. Because, sure, the PS5 and the Scarlet might look a lot better, but we want the gameplay experience. I mean, I'm going to talk a little bit more about Control later on. And as you even said in your review, that game, it doesn't have the best looking graphics in comparison to some of the other AAA games out there. It has some technical glitches and stuff, but the game was fun to play.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Fun gameplay, intriguing story.
Right.
Even if you couldn't comprehend it.
I got it. Just there's pieces. Stop laughing, CB.
I can't help it.
All right, Zach, you're up.
Sure. Drew Ross asked, if you had to pick only one streaming service to keep, which one would it be?
I assume we're talking TV shows, movies, and stuff as well here.
I would guess so.
Man.
Because otherwise it's just what, Game Pass or PS Now? Like, no.
Right.
Google
Hulu.
failed you.
I'll say Hulu. My initial thought was Netflix, but I am watching a lot more Hulu than I am Netflix these days.
Disney Plus.
Oh man,
He's already Disney Plus.
is that tomorrow?
Yep.
Or is it tomorrow?
No, the
When
14th.
this recording hit.
14th.
No, it's The Mandalorian is the 12th.
Oh, so tomorrow.
Or today when you're listening to this.
Yeah, I kind of need to see the Mandalorian. Are they releasing that all
Weekly.
like Netflix style, all at once, or are they doing it
weekly?
It is weekly.
Yeah,
I actually kind of like that.
I think it's a better format.
If
I've
it
always
wasn't
thought
if it wasn't Disney Plus, I'd say Hulu, just because I can add on HBO, Showtime, things like
Right.
that.
DC Universe
If
is the answer, I would say.
if they would add more content on a regular basis, yes.
There is, I mean, all of the animated shows that DC has ever done is on there. That's nuts. And you get the comics. You get 20,000 comics.
The animated Swamp
Right.
Thing isn't on there.
Okay, well, a bunch of stuff is on there. Batman, the animated series remastered in HD, is on there.
But isn't it? It's only the first 2 seasons.
There were only 2.
No,
they
there
had
were 4 seasons, sir. Because I have
No,
all
there-
4 on DVD.
It's structured differently there. It's
Okay.
it is all of Batman the animated series.
Okay.
And they have the new animated series as well, where like Nightwing comes in,
Okay.
is there, and there's all of Superman is there, Justice League Unlimited, all of the animated movies, a bunch of the live action ones. Titans is really good.
I did just watch Ninja Batman, so
I use DC Universe every single day. It is the best $8 I spend every month.
all right.
That's how I felt about Spotify.
Yeah.
Oh man,
Why didn't you
Spotify.
answer- yeah, I was gonna say, why didn't you answer Spotify then, son?
Man, I probably watch or listen to Spotify way more than I watch Hulu. I didn't even think about that. I got all my
Yeah.
playlists on there. I may have to change my answer now.
Yeah, you're a big music guy. See, I'm a big comics guy. I'm a big DC guy.
Yeah.
You have over 20,000 of the damn things on there.
Spencer Cushing is our next question here. He says, of all the holiday games, Halloween or Christmas, which one would you want a remaster of? I, for one, really enjoyed The Grinch on the PS1, and to see a remastered edition would be pretty amazing. I sat and thought, and I could not think of a single Halloween or Christmas themed game that I really liked.
I bet CB and I have the same answer.
I bet you we don't.
Oh, never mind.
You're gonna say Die Hard, and you can go.
Nope. It says holiday game, but then like he said, Halloween or Xmas, Independence Day, mother.
Mm.
Independence
It's neither
Day,
Halloween or Christmas.
but it is a holiday.
Yeah, but the game was terrible. Oh, so yeah, remaster.
I want a remaster.
Man, you could make an awesome Independence Day game.
Exactly,
You really could.
Wouldn't it just be like Star Fox, basically?
but better.
Well, that one scene from Star Fox 64 was
Right.
basically Independence
Yeah.
Day.
Exactly.
I remember playing that going, this is Independence Day.
Yeah, there's no bones about it.
But you could make an awesome game. Just put the Ace Combat engine, whatever engine that is,
You
in
could call
there.
We could make Independence Day Dinosaur Planet.
Wow, it's been a while since I've heard that one.
Oh. You know what? We need to do a Retro Outsider on that one, Zach, because I want you to play it now and tell me that game is still good.
Yeah, I would love to see if it holds up, but boy did I love that game when it came out.
Because I liked Super Mario Sunshine a whole lot when I was young. When I was in my 20s,
Uh-huh.
loved Super Mario Sunshine. I went back and played it, and that game is almost unplayable.
I mean, here's something embarrassing. On my now deleted GameSpot account, where I would review games, like that's where I started.
Uh-huh.
I remember I reviewed Star Fox Adventure Dinosaur Planet, and I said this is the best Zelda game ever because it plays just like Zelda. And now, I do not agree with that statement anymore as an adult with a fully formed brain.
But you thought you were being clever when you were, 11 years old.
Yeah, well, I mean, there were reviews out there when Darksiders are like, "Oh, this is the best Zelda game." Like I was trying to be clever as a 11-year-old or whatever the hell. It's still a great game. I'm not gonna die. Not gonna lie.
So what's yours, Zach? Because you said you had one.
Oh, I thought Undead Nightmare.
Undead Nightmare.
Red Dead Redemption, Undead Nightmare.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That would be a good Halloween one.
You remaster that on modern consoles, put it out. Otherwise, I did a Nightmare Before Christmas Devil May Cry clone on Xbox and PS2 that I never played. And I'd like a remaster of that so I could play that.
Okay.
Did not know that existed either.
It's made by a Japanese studio. It's weird. Like, it looks just like Devil May Cry. Like, Jack Skellington's got a grappling hook.
Really?
Yeah. It was made by Capcom.
I may have to check this out.
It is bizarre.
But-
I think it's called Oogie Boogie's Revenge.
Oh, I know the one you're talking about.
Yeah. What a weird game.
But yes,
there was a Halloween themed DLC pack for the original Borderlands. I remember where you were going around collecting pumpkin heads. Like you
the Infamous 2 had one as well.
Yeah, so not necessarily a full game, and we actually did get a remaster of the original Borderlands. So maybe that doesn't count for Spencer's question here, but nonetheless.
Costume Quest.
Oh, Costume Quest. I've actually played that one. That's like a turn-based JRPG where you play as trick-or-treating kids. And
that was a very fun idea.
That's a charming game.
Has an animated series coming out.
Does it really?
Yeah, I think it might be Amazon.
Huh. There's 2 of those games, too. Isn't there a Costume Quest 2?
Yes, there is.
Yeah.
All right, CB, you're up.
When should Christmas music start being played, if ever?
There's only one answer to this.
Well, remember we had this conversation on the way to Milwaukee.
Milwaukee.
So I'm the firm believer that Christmas time does not start until the end of the Thanksgiving Day parade when Santa shows up.
Ooh, that's even a little early.
So
that's a little early for me too.
But to me, no, I'm saying Christmas season starts. Like that's when I feel that it's okay to start seeing some stuff in stores. Before then, like I hated working retail, and it's like, oh, it's the beginning of November. Start playing Christmas songs. I would just be like, I want to stab my eardrums. I hate Christmas music.
December 1st to December 25th.
Oh wow,
yes.
You're even later than me. For me, it's a day after Thanksgiving.
Okay.
That Friday you're fine. But even then, I'm not listening to Christmas music on Black Friday, so it'd be the Saturday after Thanksgiving for me.
Well, I'm not actively listening to Christmas music ever.
Right, but it doesn't actively irritate you, right? Until if it's after December 1st.
Nope. Soon as I hear the very first one, I'm already irritated.
I would say it does irritate me, but I understand it. I'm not saying I agree with it, but I understand.
I still like Christmas music, but over the years when we've turned Christmas season into a Christmas quarter, that stuff starts to wear on you much more.
Christmas quarter, people start talking about it after the 4th of July now.
I know, it's kind of crazy.
Like, stop.
Well, are you naughty or nice this year, CB?
Oh, I'm naughty.
Yeah, you are.
Let's move it on.
Sure thing. GamerDad03 asks, if you could meet any other character from any game besides your favorite character, of course, who would it be? Example, Scott, besides Link from Zelda, what other character would you like to meet? By the way, that would be a boring answer, Scott, if that was your answer.
Because he can't talk.
Yeah.
Well, excuse me.
Yeah, never mind. He can talk. Look at
that. That's not canon, man. That's not canon. We don't talk about that animated series. I'm so hungry I could eat an Octorok.
It's a joyful show, man.
I own it. I got the DVD of it, like the entire season on one disc.
I don't know. I don't know if I could actually watch it, but the memes are great.
Yes, they are. Oh man, which character? Johnson from
Wow.
What's that game called?
From Shadows of the Damned. Why do I have to remind you every time?
I just think that character is so funny. I just want him as a sidekick, even though he's not really a person. Come back to me, Zach. You go.
Max Payne.
Sam Fisher.
To
Oh, those are
be.
your favorites. It can't be
Yeah.
like your favorite.
Yeah, the not being a favorite thing really throws it through the loop. Why would I want to meet somebody who's not my favorite?
Well, can't be your number one favorite.
I mean, I would say, I guess, Kaine from Nier. I would like her. I would like her to do whatever she wants to me.
I was gonna say Bayonetta.
Yeah, I mean, I can see where you're going with that.
Yeah.
Kaine's great. I feel like that'd be my favorite. Claire Redfield, maybe from the new Resident Evil 2.
Okay.
Man.
Scott heard me talk about her at length.
Mm-hmm.
She curses so good.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that conversation.
She does. She uses swear words in the best way. And fun fact, so does Kaine. So maybe I got a thing for ladies that like to swear.
Probably. CV, what about you?
Either Leon S. Kennedy
Yeah.
or Ezio. I mean,
Oh yeah, that's a good call, man.
He'd be a cool guy to hang out with.
Especially young Ezio was just he had that boyish charm.
Oh, man, Garrus. I would love to hang out with Garrus from Mass Effect.
From Mass Effect?
Yes.
I mean,
Wasn't he the villain?
No, that's Saren.
Oh, okay.
Garrus was he's your uptight cop buddy in the first game, but then by the second one, he turns into like this badass mercenary dude.
Oh, okay.
He's your bro, man. He's your bro.
GamerDad had a follow-up question as well. He said, what would be your dream Black Friday sale? We are coming up on a Black Friday here, so I wish everybody could see CB's eyes just light up as soon as we said Black Friday sale. You got something in mind there, man?
yeah. Oh, basically
realistic.
Well, realistic. Half off like any retro game store.
That'd be pretty sweet.
So
Is that realistic?
yeah,
No,
it is.
Okay.
I've been to some that do it.
All right.
maybe not the ones under the glass, but like the
Just the bulk stuff in general. I'm
Right.
happy with that. I actually participate in limited run games Black Friday sale every year.
there you go.
So that's always a fun, hectic time because they take everything that, like when limited run does a game, they make like 3,000 copies, but they keep 250 in reserve in case like somebody's disc breaks in shipping.
Mm-hmm.
And on Black Friday, they take all the games throughout the year, those 250, and they just put them on the site all at once. And it's just a mad dash to see who can basically click them and get to the checkout first.
That sounds stressful.
It is.
I don't miss that back when I was trying. Do you remember when I got that special edition PS4 for the, what was it, 500 million?
Oh yeah, the 500
or something
million.
like that? I just happened to be up at 3:00 in the morning when that post came through, and I got one.
You resold it at cost like a fool.
I know.
No, he took a loss on it.
Technically, I did if you count tax. Yeah, because I'm a nice guy.
Unbelievable.
Yeah. For me, I think I've said this before, but I'm actually really hoping that there's a deal on Nintendo Labo kits. I just want to buy a bunch of them for my classroom, make like a lesson out of it, like an engineering lesson for my kids. I think that would be so much fun, especially if kids have their own Switch that they could bring to school and actually, so we don't have to just everybody fight over mine. That would just be awesome.
Yeah, I think for me, remember that game Starlink?
Yeah.
They didn't get low enough last year, but if there was like some Black Friday, like GameStop was just like selling off all the toys for like $1 a piece.
You want
I'd love
some?
to play that. Yes, I want to play the hell out of that game.
I was about to say Disc Replay here in town has them for like $2 a piece.
Well, we don't have. There are no. I don't think there's any used game store inside of Kansas City itself.
Wah, wah.
There is a market opportunity.
There you go, man. Do it. Make it happen.
I was about to say I bought my copy of Starlink in the box for both Switch and Xbox One for $10.
Yeah, see, that's the price I want to buy it at.
So
like $10.
and I still have yet to crack it open.
Because I know me, and I know when I start playing it, I'm going to buy. Going to want to buy all the stuff for it.
I think that's probably why I haven't opened mine.
So I want them to be like 50 cents each.
Those models do look really cool, by the way.
They are, and it just, I don't know. I feel like we don't get enough like cool, hard sci-fi games.
The game was all right.
I don't like the fact that you like had to like clip the ship to your controller though.
That's what I love.
Wee.
I want that.
I was just
I want
saying.
it. Yeah, I want to change my guns on the fly and stuff. So I
That
guess
sounds
Starlink.
miserable to me. Oh, we
I
got to
know.
pause the game and then flip something else on there? No.
That sounds cool. How does that not sound cool, man?
When I can just click a button and do it? That sounds way cooler.
That's not anywhere near as cool.
Until your
Digital media
cat
jerk.
jumps up on your lap and knocks your ship off. Oh, crash land.
Well, the good thing I'll have bought so many because they're 50 cents a piece in this fantasy scenario.
All right, CB, you're up. We got to pick things up. We're running out of time.
Favorite gameplay snack, and does it differ on the game? Well, most people know that I have almost always a can of Monster next to me. I should maybe have been in a certain video game, but
We just keep alluding to this. That's Stranding.
other than that, pizza, maybe like Tostitos and dip.
Oh, man, you're crazy. You got to keep your fingers clean. I can't eat if I'm going to eat something like pizza like that. I'm going to stop playing and I'm going to eat. Go wash my hands and then
learn to play one-handed.
So happy you said this, Scott, because I have a rule. You cannot snack while you're using my controllers.
Yeah. The only way that I will snack while I'm using a controller is I love white cheddar Cheez-Its, but I put those into a plastic cup, and whenever I want one, I just like drink it out of the glass. So it never touches my fingers. So
yeah, I am with you 100%. I do, if we're talking about drinks, balls. I love balls.
Oh man. There's a good one.
Yeah,
by the way, Jordan Derringer High told us that you can get it here in Rockford.
Yeah, you can. It's at Myers.
I did find a place in Kansas City.
You can get.
Did you?
Myers has the regular cherry, orange, and root beer.
I love balls. It's so good. I do, which you can't talk about without making other boys chuckle.
Yep, I can't help it.
The best snack in the world is Doritos Dinamitas Chili Limon.
I don't think I've had those.
They're like their version of Takis.
Oh, okay.
But they are so much better. They're so good. I didn't know Takis were a thing when I tried these, but
I like the taco flavored Doritos.
It's funny. I don't really like regular Doritos, but these things, for whatever reason, I love to death.
Interesting. Let's see, Zach, you're up.
Absolutely. Let's see. Lamer Waffle. In the spirit of Christmas music, what's your favorite holiday of the year and why?
Summer vacation. Does that count?
Yeah, I don't have one.
It's a holiday in my mind.
4th of July because I get to play with explosives.
Arbor Day.
You're just throwing a random one out there.
It's just his favorite day because then he gets to celebrate wood.
Oh,
celebrate wood with my balls.
Oh my God!
It's an energy drink, man.
All right, Howard Stern.
I really don't. I guess Christmas. I like the idea of Christmas, but I don't know if I actually like it.
Can I say Black Friday? Is that a holiday?
No,
but not for
the U.S. It is.
Not for the reasons you think, though. I actually don't go shopping on Black Friday.
What do you do?
Black Friday is my movie marathon day with some of my friends every year.
Oh.
They Amanda and Alicia come over, and Scott Calgaro also. They come over about 5 a.m. I make breakfast for them, and then we watch movies all day long, like an entire movie series. Like the very first year we did Harry Potter, because I had never seen all the Harry Potter movies. And then the year after that, we did all the Fast and the Furious movies. And then last year we did the extended editions of the Lord of the Rings movies.
I have to imagine you guys are not paying super close attention to these movies.
You'd be surprised. I mean, we've seen them before, so it's not like a movie theater where you gotta, no one speaks. We're having conversations. We're discussing what's going on. I'm making my Christmas ornaments for my students during this time.
Okay.
And then there's some kind of shenanigans that happens by the end of the night. We may have made they're taking the Hobbits to Isengard video at the end of last year after we had a few drinks, which was hilarious.
Yeah.
I've got to find that. You know the YouTube video I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Where they made it into like a dance song?
I just said yeah.
I'm going to have it stuck in my head all night long.
Taking the hobbits to Isengard. They're taking the hobbits to Isengard. Yeah.
God,
I'm familiar with it.
God.
The best holiday of the year is whenever the new season of Arrow starts.
We all have holidays that aren't real holidays.
Yeah. It's a shame. So this is the last year it'll ever happen.
St. Patrick's Day.
Did you know that like not all the holidays, but most of the really good holidays next year all happen like on Saturday? Like Halloween's on Saturday, New Year's is on Saturday.
So it's a party year.
Christmas on Saturday, yeah. Apparently, was it Cinco de Mayo is on a Tuesday?
Taco Tuesday,
which is funny. I don't know. It was like a weird year where the stars aligned and we got holidays on the weekend like almost every time, which is kind of cool. Except for like the ones like Veterans Day and stuff like that. They're on Mondays, but
Boxing Day.
Boxing Day, isn't that Canada?
Yep.
Last one also comes from La Lamer Waffle, who says, second question, if you have time, what was your favorite TV show when you were a kid? Do you have any that you remember, but no one else seems to? Because I used to watch Fight Food-Ons when I was a kid.
Fighting Food-Ons, I know this show.
Fighting Food-Ons when I was a kid, and literally no one knows it. It's on Amazon Prime and has the mostly amusingly strange opening theme song. I have no idea what that show is, Zach. What is it?
It's like Pokemon, but with food that comes alive.
Okay. Sounds great. Man, I feel like all those ones that were on after school, those Disney ones that are after school, like DuckTales, DuckTales, Chippendales Rescue Rangers, those were my absolute favorite. As far as like weird ones, like I loved weird game shows when I was a kid. Do you remember Supermarket Sweep?
Yes.
I don't know why, but I love to watch that show. I have never wanted to be on a game show more than I wanted to be on Supermarket Sweep because I'm like, what, you want me to spend more money than everybody else? Easy. Like I just couldn't fathom why people struggled with that game. But that, and there was I think it was called Finders Keepers on Nickelodeon, where they made like a mock room, like a room in your house. And there was a hidden item somewhere in there, and you just had to ransack the entire room looking for this one item that they gave you a clue for as to what it was. And as a kid, that just was fascinating to me because I wanted, it was a contest to make a mess. And that was fascinating to me.
Man,
what you guys?
I got a list.
Okay.
Oh boy. Oh,
MTV's Fear.
Okay.
I missed that show desperately. Legends of the Hidden Temple.
Oh, that one was good.
Also the whole Saturday morning, like DuckTales, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Fear Factor. I watched the crap out of that.
I remember watching the Ghostbusters cartoon.
Oh yeah,
the real Ghostbusters. Remember that?
I have the whole series on DVD if you ever want to watch it.
Oh, that would be some nostalgia right there.
Are You Afraid of the Dark? On Nickelodeon.
I loved Are You Afraid of the Dark?
So
Tales from the Crypt?
Yep. But definitely I think the most watched TV show from when I was a kid was probably Star Trek Next Gen.
Really?
Oh yeah. I've seen probably every episode at least 4 times.
What about Inspector Gadget?
Do.
Oh man, I watched that so much as a kid. That one and Doug. Remember Doug?
Oh yeah.
I love Doug.
Heathcliff
and Marmaduke. Weren't they together for a while? There was a Heathcliff and Marmaduke, it was it was one television program that had Heathcliff cartoons and Marmaduke cartoons.
I remember Heathcliff and Friends. No, it was Garfield and Friends, and then it was
Garfield and Friends.
Heathcliff. I think it was just Heathcliff. Man, I miss a lot of those, like the Bill and Ted's animated TV series.
There was a bunch of movies that made animated. There was a Back to the Future animated series. Do you remember that?
It was not good.
Beetlejuice was an animated
series.
Beetlejuice
was great, and I actually downloaded that not that long ago.
Yeah.
So,
Spider-Man, the animated series. That was great.
Which version?
The 94.
Okay.
You're asking about my childhood. which I tried to rewatch as an adult, and I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to ruin my memories like that.
Is it rough?
It's a little.
Yeah. Everyone has laser pistols. They can't use the words die or kill. Spider-Man was not allowed to punch people. Mary Jane at one point turns out to be a clone made out of water.
What?
Yep, I actually remember that episode.
There's a lot of interdimensional shenanigans. It's not what I look for
it ends
in Spider-Man.
terribly.
Yes, it ends on a cliffhanger. And it had the first Spider-Verse though.
Yeah, Madam Web and all that.
Yeah. It was kind of a goofy thing. I watched a lot of DBZ when I was a kid. Honestly, I watched a lot of G4 shows, like X-Play and stuff.
I did too.
Like, over and over, I would rewatch the episodes.
So would I. Drive my wife crazy.
Didn't care that I'd seen that episode of X-Play or Judgment Day, or there was a game show where they played versus multiplayer. Can't remember what it was called, but it would be like two teams who had to play like 3 different games, and it was like best 2 out of 3. They would play Call of Duty a lot, the original one.
Mm-hmm.
It was good. Arrested Development was my show, but I guess it was more like preteen. But I would rewatch that show. I probably rewatched that whole show like 40 times.
The original Whose Line Is It Anyways?
Oh man, those are so funny. I actually was like fell down a YouTube rabbit hole watching some of those a while back. The one where they had Richard Simmons on.
Oh man, I saw that.
I don't think I've ever seen my wife laugh as hard as the first time I saw her do that. Oh man, do yourself a favor if you haven't and go YouTube. Whose Line Is It Anyway? Richard Simmons. You will thank me later if you haven't seen it because it is outstanding.
CB, do you remember Spider-Man Unlimited?
Yeah.
Okay.
My son actually just recently watched through that.
What is the 13 episode thing?
Yep.
What a weird show. That was there. Lamar Waffle was talking about shows that people don't remember. I remember kids would call me a liar when I told them about this show because it's Spider-Man and he goes to like a dystopia future.
Mm-hmm.
Where like they're hybrid animal people and stuff. It's ridiculous. I have no idea how or why it came into existence.
Well, it's just like MTV's Fear. Like not many people remember that show, and I loved that show. I wanted to be on that show.
Can't say I loved Spider-Man Unlimited, but
All right, well, that's going to do it for the topic this week. Thanks so much for all the questions, guys. It's always a spirited conversation as usual. Let's go ahead and move on. We have some new Facebook. Actually, we don't have any new Facebook members. So if you haven't already joined our group, be sure to head over to facebook.com/groups/thegocast. We've got plenty of community members over there. We try to keep it posted with news and articles, as well as any of the reviews that we write on the site. So be sure to check that out. Also, we've got 2 new Discord members to welcome to the group, Backdrop and I'm Finished. And there is a link for the Discord group in the show notes for this episode, so be sure to check that out. Do also have a couple new iTunes reviews to share with you. This first one says, Dope Gaming Stuff, except he didn't say stuff, and this is actually the name that it is on iTunes. Nickname is taken, ? And this person says, I enjoyed the perspective of some gamers that are, dare I say it, a little older like myself. It doesn't hurt that the audio quality is also very good, making for a thoroughly enjoyable listen. Thank you so much. Nickname is taken. Appreciate the kind words there.
And thank you to Nate for making that audio that good.
Yeah, shout out to Nate. He puts in a lot of work making this sound good. So Ray Roll has a comment here that's titled A Refreshing Addition to the Gaming Community and says, the gaming community can feel unwelcoming. The host, Scott, does an amazing job of making all listeners and gamers feel welcome.
I'm tired of Scott getting complimented. Can we agree on this, CB?
Well, I think it's just because we're such negative Nancy's.
I don't think we are.
I don't think you are either.
You know what? I do. Thank you for that because the show strives to be welcoming.
Yes.
No such thing as a bad game. Just games that aren't for you.
Just games that aren't for Scott.
And also there's so much negativity in games coverage.
Yes.
There is.
I will agree with that.
Yeah. Also, we got some written reviews up on the site. Chad did a review for a game called Ping Redux. Nate reviewed Valfaris, which he loved that game. Holy cow, did he like that game. So be sure to check out that. Thomas did a review for, I'm sorry, not Thomas, but Nate also did a review for Remothered, Tormented Fathers. And Alyssa, one of our contributing writers, today actually her review posted for Tokyo Dark Remembrance, which is a point-and-click adventure. I think it's a remake. Is that right, Nate? Or Zach?
It's a port.
It's a port
of a PC game that I own and have never played, but it looks great.
It does look very nice. So with that, let's go ahead and jump into the games we've actually been playing. All right, Zach, what's coming out this week? Did we get another break?
No, we did not.
All right.
Keep dreaming, buddy. Right at the top, we got a action RPG Yaga coming to PS4, Xbox One, Switch, PC, and to the Apple Arcade, November 12th. You still have that Apple Arcade, Scott?
I canceled it, but I still have it for a few more days.
Okay. Good to know. And then we have a new VR game coming to PSVR and PC, Last Labyrinth, on November 13th. It's a very anime-inspired looking one. You're saving this girl from a dungeon mansion thing. It makes you want to play it.
Okay.
Age of Empires 2 gets remastered with the definitive edition on PC. That's coming to Game Pass as well, November 14th. Another VR game, Stormland, from Insomniac, coming to the Oculus Rift, November 14th.
Nice.
I'm sure CB will find a way to play that. Sparklight, which is being reviewed, or we have a code for that, don't we?
Yes, we do. Nate is actually reviewing that for us, and I'm a little jealous because that has Scott Clark written all over it.
It sure does. Very top-down kind of game.
Yeah.
It's your nonsense. PS4, Xbox One, Switch, and PC on that November 14th. Astroneer coming to PS4 November 15th.
That's a port. That's been out for a while.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, I have it on Xbox.
Yeah, it looked like Minecraft with an astronaut to me. Big launch, Pokemon Sword and Shield coming to Switch November 15th. I hate that this game makes me want to play it so badly. It looks so great. Yes, because if you like the trailers, like it's a full on like from the back perspective. It looks like a very modern HD video game. The Pokédex is smaller, which is also great. I know most fans are annoyed by that, but that sounds great to me. But hey. Anyway, the big hitter, Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order, PS4, Xbox One, PC, November 15th, coming from Respawn. I think we're all going to be playing that. Woven, coming to PS4, Xbox One, Switch, and PC, November 15th. And then and a very anime game, Tokyo Ghoul Recall to Exist, PS4, PC, November 15th.
Actually, Spencer is reviewing Woven for us right now.
Okay, so yeah, I'm intrigued. It looks like a little 3D platformer-ish kind of thing.
Yeah, he plays an elephant.
Stuffed elephant with a buddy.
Yeah. It reminds me of, was it Yoshi's Epic Yarn? Like it's got that feel to it where the world looks like you could reach and touch it and it would feel fuzzy, but...
I think safe to say we're all Star Wars, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And the Pokemans.
Pokemon looks good, but it's a shame it had to come out the same day as Star Wars. So it's not going to happen.
Yeah, and I really want to play Sparklight. It just looks so much fun.
In fact, if no one could talk to me at all on Star Wars Day, that'd be great.
For real?
I just want to play the hell out of that game.
Oh, I thought you meant like we were going to spoil it or something for you.
Oh no, I'm not that guy.
No. No, yeah, Star Wars will be my main focus, but I will be taking Pokemon as my traveling game.
Sounds good.
Funny you speak about traveling, because we've all
And
been playing
elephants.
a game all about traveling.
We sure have. Zach,
you mean cutie booty delivery duty?
Yes, that is what CV likes to call
You've
Death
been-
Stranding.
You've been waiting all week to be able to say cutie booty delivery duty on the show to talk about this Stranding.
Before I played that game, he messaged me. He's like, "Hey, let me know when you play a couple hours of Death Stranding. I got a joke I gotta tell you."
Oh no. That's not even the joke that I'm going to get to.
Oh, okay.
Like that's just what I refer to that game, because I really have no desire to see Norman Reedus's butt again right now. So
Norm Reedus, somehow 50 years old.
Is he really 50?
yeah,
Isn't that insane?
Oh, that's crazy. I mean, he's very rugged, and I'm not going to say haggard. He looks seasoned, but just
it's okay. You can say
50.
he looks a little haggard.
50 is just a big number.
Yeah, it is. So Zach, for those that are curious, because
Uh-huh.
I was talking to my buddy Mike today, who's like on the fence about buying this game, and
Buy it. Continue.
okay, I'm going to
Don't.
disagree with you, but
No, I know. This is going to be the hardest episode we've ever had to record, I swear.
So why don't you tell everybody exactly what this game is, and obviously sell them on playing it so that CB and I can rebuttal you.
Yeah, I'm more interested in the rebuttal. I feel like we're going to actually have a debate, which is great, because I don't think we often do.
Yeah.
I mean, Death Stranding there is no bones about it. It is a game about walking. There is no getting around. I know the great sales pitch.
I was going to say, you're supposed to be selling it to the listeners, not...
It's a Hideo Kojima game. You'll know this because it's directed by Hideo Kojima, written by Hideo Kojima, produced by Hideo. He will remind you that he made this game.
multiple times.
Over and over again. Regardless, so Death Stranding takes place in a strange version of America where death seems to no longer cross over to the other side, so they are stranded on our side during an event called the Death Stranding. They are little ghost guys. If they come into contact with people, they void out and cause a giant like nuclear explosion thing, which is kind of the It's there's a lot you're not gonna know about this game for a while. As I assume is what's annoying Scott more than anything else.
No, honestly, that's not what's been bothering me, because I was actually very confused, but I was so drawn into the art style and the voice acting and the music, which, by the way, the music is outstanding in this game.
Whenever like a new song, so you do a lot of walking in this game, and occasionally a song will just start playing while you're walking, and every time it's like it really sets the tone every time.
It really does, and I knew that you would think that about me. That the reason I wasn't a big fan of this game is just the constant questions. The way it's done, the way that Death Stranding handles that, intrigues me and makes me want to push forward to see what more I can learn about this universe. I love watching the cutscenes in this game and seeing the characters interact with each other.
Which is good, because the first 2 hours you're probably playing a grand total of 20 minutes, maybe.
Then that's not an exaggeration.
And it's not a bad thing either.
I didn't think it was a bad thing either. I was thoroughly enjoying sitting down and watching these cutscenes.
Yeah. I mean, while we're talking about the universe and like the story, what I like about it is that everything is so matter of fact, like to the people in it.
Yes.
There's no audience viewpoint character who woke up to this new world and is getting exposition dumps. Like the world is just the world, and you'll pick up on it as you play, which I like a lot.
I agree. I actually really like that as well. Oh, this rain makes my hair turn gray? Of course it does.
That's just how it reminds me of a book I recommended to you, Scott, called The Way of Kings.
Yes.
Where they're just using words that you have no idea the meaning of, but a third way to the book, you're like, oh, that's what that is.
Storm it?
Yes.
That's how they curse in that book, because it's written by a Mormon.
Love that book. But no, Death Stranding, like the world, the universe, the characters, all very interesting to me. Very ethereal. I think it's a little the metaphor is a little on the nose, but otherwise, I do like it a lot. CB, how do you like the story setup for Death Stranding?
It's weird. It is. It's very Kojima.
There are babies in jars.
No, I'm a little further than you. It gets even more bizarre.
Perfect.
There may be a scene with breastfeeding a void baby.
That's fine.
So
you have to normalize breastfeeding.
But it's
is Norman Reedus doing it?
No.
That'd be awesome.
I will say flat out, this game is beautiful to look at.
The art design of this game is astounding.
Yes,
it really is.
That's like my favorite thing about the game, and the actual acting is very, very good. Beyond that, my mind, like, this game makes my brain hurt. Like the physics in this game, like no human can carry that much on their back in that formation and stand.
It's a new world, CB. Okay.
Nope.
Let's get into it, because
if I have 6 feet of packages hanging off my back, I will fall over. It doesn't matter.
You often do. Which leads us into the gameplay. You are a mailman. That's the game.
So this is what I've been waiting to tell you the whole week, Zach.
Oh God.
I was playing this game. I immediately called Zach and I'm like, Hideo Kojima ripped off a movie.
You mean you called Scott?
Yeah, I called Scott. He ripped off a movie.
Wait, is it the Tom Cruise movie?
No.
No.
Oh, no, okay.
He ripped off a Kevin Costner movie. This is The Postman. Literally.
I've never heard that movie before.
And that point right there is exactly what we were talking about on the phone. Is the reason that nobody's going to know is because it's a bunch of younger generation gamers that have no idea what the Postman is.
I guess I've heard the name, but honestly I assumed it was about a guy going postal.
It's a post-apocalyptic movie where Kevin Costner is a guy who is literally delivering mail across the country, rebuilding America one package at a time.
Does it have ghosts?
No. But it does have raiders and disconnected communities that you are trying to unite together to rebuild America. This is a blatant ripoff of a movie with ghosts.
Based on a book. Okay, I don't think it's... Well, simmer down.
Oh, well, don't get me wrong. Like I said, I'm enjoying the game somewhat. It's gotten better for me, but the first 5 hours of gameplay, I was ready to snap a controller in half.
Because you thought it was too close to the Kevin Costner movie?
No, I don't want to be like, hey, cool, here's a package. Walk for 15 minutes. Deliver package. Do it again.
And that's where I want to get in. For people that haven't played this yet, I want you to understand, when we call this game a walking simulator, I feel like I haven't played a game that more embodies that term of a game than this one, because that's literally, at least for the first 2 or 3, 4 hours I played it, that's all you do in the very little time that you actually play this game, which again, I didn't have a problem with. I was perfectly fine sitting back and watching this quote unquote movie. But when you actually play, you are carrying packages that are attached to your body or on your back that you have to strategically place on your body to equalize the weight distribution, because when you walk, your body is going to automatically lean one way or the other based on which side is more encumbered than the other. And the way you do that is with the L1 and L2 buttons. So if you start to lean to the right, imagine if you're playing a game where you're walking on a tightrope or something and your character starts to tilt to one way, you have to overcompensate it to bring him back on to adjust your weight. That is this game all the time.
If you hold down both triggers, you don't ever have to worry about your balance.
Yes, but you wear out your shoes.
Well, that happens regardless.
So, and watch out for rocks. Dear God.
Well, you can balance the packages differently too.
Well, there's actually a button in the menu that will optimize the packages across all of your body automatically, so you don't have to actually even place them individually. That made it a lot easier. And I was okay with it, just doing the walking and enjoying the music and kind of looking at the the landscape and hearing some of Norman Reedus's, or what's his character's name, Sam?
Yep.
Yeah, Sam Porter Bridges.
And hearing some of his inner dialogue, or when he's talking to himself when he stumbles or whatever. And I was okay with that. And I was just walking, doing my thing, trying to get across this mountain. The game does this really cool thing where you can actually plot your course on the map. And I feel like I've not seen a game do this way before, where you can draw a line from A to B, but you're never going to take that line because there's going to be obstacles in the way. But you can actually connect these pathways and make different ways to go through there to kind of plot your course. You can hit this scanner to show where the real rough terrain areas are. I was okay with this part of the game. Where I got turned off completely, Zach, is when all of a sudden I'm walking and I feel like I'm coming across my destination, and he says, "Oh, it looks like it's rain. I need to get shelter, otherwise these packages are going to get destroyed." I didn't know that was going to be a thing, and I'm stuck out in the middle of nowhere with no caves anywhere, and then all of a sudden the BTs show up, and I'm just done.
Well, timefall usually means BTs, yes. I could tell you that the deteriorating of your packages is like
minimal,
not even worth mentioning. I've never even, it's never affected anything at any point.
It affects more or less the other objects that you carry, like the PCCs or your ladder. Like it deteriorates those a lot faster, but the actual packages are like in special containers that
Yeah,
aren't really
and
affected by timefall.
And
Okay.
there's a spray you can fabricate that can heal it if you're super concerned, but I've never had to use that.
Okay.
So,
I don't know.
Hey, I love this game. Can I say that? Am I allowed to say that, or are we just going to crap all over it?
No.
I was speaking pretty positively about it up until that one point, man. I mean,
I know.
and that's the thing is,
No,
I went into this game expecting to just absolutely hate this game. And when I sat there and watched these cutscenes and watched what was going on, I was drawn into this world. I wanted to see what was going to happen next, and I wanted to meet these other characters. I wanted to see what was going to I wanted to see where he was going with his story. And I was surprised. I was like, "Oh my god, I'm one of those that likes this game. This is going to be great." And then I just I had no desire to just sit there and manage these packages and just go.
I will.
I just.
I was gonna say I will tell you, Zach. I like this better than Metal Gear Solid 5.
Yeah, me too.
So
I was gonna say this game is overloaded with Hideo Kojima storytelling, which I do love, even if it can be a little annoying how characters will keep telling you the same information over and over again.
or the
That's
fact that if I hear Sam Porter Bridges one more time, I'm just gonna
Well, it's
shut
just,
the audio off.
As I say, it reminds me of Metal Gear Solid, where like you hear Snake every 4 words.
Yes.
Yeah,
Every time
that's
you walk
funny.
into a town, Sam Porter Bridges, what are you doing?
I was
Well, you're
just
a
gonna
legend.
say,
You're famous.
does
for this
everybody just annoy you all the time? Like you can't take 5 steps without somebody calling you Sam.
game. Oh yeah, I
Sam,
turn
do
turn
this.
on that. Yeah.
Wait till you
Sam,
run
go do
into
this.
Conan O'Brien in this game, and
Or Jeff Keighley.
like he just irritates the piss out of me in this game.
I
Give
have
you-
not come across Conan O'Brien.
His
But I do like Jeff Keighley plays a character who is obsessed with this like writer who is obviously Kojima, which is right.
I very much like the story in this game. Like that's what's keeping me going. But there's like so many things in this game that just irritate the hell out of me. The blatant advertisements just makes me want to.
That's such a Kojima thing. There's Mountain Dew in Metal Gear Solid.
Oh, I know, but the monster, and then the fact that like if Norman Reedus sits down and takes a poop in this game, he stares at an advertisement of Ride on AMC with Norman Reedus.
Is that a real show, by the way?
Yes, it is.
No, I assumed it was not.
No, it's a real show.
I believe you.
That's pretty funny.
But there's like things like that irritates me, but the overall storytelling and the acting and the character interactions with the main characters, like Fragile and Sam, Die Hard Man and Dead Man.
Yeah.
Like I'm
Guillermo del Toro himself, Dead Man.
I found myself not being bothered by that after like being introduced to that character. I just kind of accepted that. I really thought that was silly the first time I heard those names, but it didn't bother me.
well,
Because
it's
they
Kojima
sell
thing.
it.
Like
Yeah,
it's
but-
always stupid names.
Let's say Scott's right. They sell it because everyone just treats it as like, well, that's just how it is.
Yeah. It's
May
just
as well.
you just accept it, and that's kind of what I like about this game is things don't make any sense. Why are there rainbows upside down from clouds? Why is this time fall a thing? And I just love that it's just there, and you're not having anybody having to minutely explain everything, which sounds crazy coming from me because I'm the person that needs all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I am surprised to hear this from you, to be honest.
Well, that's
No,
why
I
I
was
said
totally digging it.
the physics in this game just makes my head hurt, like seeing upside down rainbows and people that can carry ridiculous amounts of weight, but my vehicle can't carry nearly as much as my person can.
Oh, by the way, you haven't mentioned the most annoying thing about this entire game yet. If you stumble and fall and agitate this baby that you're carrying in
starts crying.
this BB, your controller starts crying incessantly until you either soothe it or it just calms down. You know what I want in my basement when I'm all by myself?
A baby crying.
A baby crying.
Or when it
Well,
Yeah.
you just have to shake the baby. It'll feel better.
or when it randomly giggles at you.
You don't like that?
It's creepy because I
Yeah,
can't tell
I
if
like
it's
a little baby.
crying. But the only reason I know it's happy is the screen tells me BB seems happy. But I'm like, it sounds like it's crying.
I do hate that it's crying during boss fights.
Just wait.
I
Sure.
hate that it cries at all. Like that
So-
needs to be an option I can turn off.
Well, I love the walking simulator parts. I am enjoying. I like how it reminds me of Breath of the Wild, where I am planning out like what to bring with me before I go out on an adventure.
Yeah, I can understand that.
It is. I like because you can well, hey, I'm looking here. Oh, there's like a mountain, so maybe I'll bring a couple extra ladders and maybe a climbing anchor, and kind of maybe that'll get me to where I need to go. I like that. Or I taking this motorcycle around, but then I meet some rocky terrain. I'm like, well, should I try to build a bridge or should I try to go in on foot? How much further do I have to go once I get past the rocks? Like I like that I'm solving situations in a video game that are not how do I kill this guy the best way.
I will openly tell you, after the first 30 minutes of gameplay, I have not carried a climbing anchor or ladder with me.
Oh, I'm using ladders like a
Yeah,
because your bike can jump.
Yes, your bike can jump, and I like the first time you do it. Norman Reedus is like, man, is there anything this thing can't do?
So, I got really lucky because people can do custom paint jobs on bikes and leave them in the online garage.
Oh, that's cool.
And I found one that somebody left me that was the bike, but it was the Ava Unit 1 paint scheme. So I have a green and purple and orange bike, and it makes me really happy. So
speaking of that, the game is online, and the more you connect with other players, the more you might see ladders that they've set up, or a bridge that they've built, or
roads.
Let's say in Chapter 3, there's a road, and it's super cool because like I started playing and like I built the first portion of the road, and then I did a deliver and it came back and like the road was about 2/3 built, and and other players did, and then I contributed some more materials and we got the whole dang road built from one destination to another, so you didn't have to cross into BT territory or Raider territory at all. You just got to drive to your destination, and like it was cool that a collection of gamers made that happen.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of things that this game does right. It's just there's a lot of things that just irritate me. So,
and that's where I'm at. I appreciate that this thing exists, but that gameplay to me, and again, I didn't make it nearly as far as either of you. I got to hit the maybe 3 or 4 hour mark, and I was just already tired of the mechanic. This mechanic feels like something that I would expect as a side quest in an open world game that you do once in a while.
See, and I think the mechanic is constantly getting refreshed. You get to a new area, and then now you can build a post box, or now here's a generator, so you can recharge things. And then you get to the next space, you're like, well, now you can get vehicles, and you're like, oh, now I can recharge it at the batteries. And you get to another place, and you're like, well, this is now this is upgraded. You can build a safe house anywhere you want in the world now. Like I feel like I am constantly getting something new to play with. Here's a floating carrier, so now you don't have to carry everything on your back.
Right, and I respect games sometimes where it sucks at the beginning so that you appreciate it later on when things get easier, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I was not having any fun walking. I just wasn't. And
I throw on a podcast, but honestly I think I just find it relaxing, and I will always appreciate a game where the primary verb is not kill. Because every game's primary verb is kill.
No, you're right, and I don't disagree. I
want to say something so much about that statement.
Well, okay, where I'm at now, like you can't even kill the raiders because you have to keep them unconscious, or else their body decomposes and becomes a nuclear bomb or whatever. Like,
yeah,
like there's a narrative justification even for why you're not killing people.
So, things may or may not change.
Well,
in other words, they will change.
I guess you can kill the ghosts, the BTs, with the grenades and stuff.
Your pee and poop grenades.
Well, I've never used those, but you get the hermetic grenades or whatever they are,
which are made from your blood.
Made from your blood, yes. I rarely use them though, so I'd rather just dodge. But like, there's fun to me. You get to that ghost areas, and then you're trying to find your path. You're like, well, if I slap down a ladder here, I can actually just cross this river and not make any like noise.
Yeah, I just run through them anyways.
It's and then there's such a fun surprise. You ever get touched by a ghost, CB?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like all of a sudden the whole environment changes into like a giant oil puddle with these zombies slashing at you, and the BT turns into a giant like whale.
Yeah.
which helps explains all those beach whales and the beach.
That first boss fight is super fun.
Yes, Troy Baker's character is a lot of fun. He is chewing the scenery as you would never. You can't believe.
And then Mads Mikkelsen.
Yes.
And that was another character that intrigued me. I want to know what's going on with that guy.
CB knows about this guy.
I know more about this guy than you do.
I cannot wait.
So,
and I'm just asking CB, does it get interesting?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. See, that's what intrigues me.
But
yeah, I'm intrigued by most of the characters. Fragile's
backstory is pretty amazing.
Yeah, I like her and her relationship with Higgs, and I mean, honestly, the biggest question I want answered that they're not answering is why is Die Hardman wearing that mask?
Yes, I'm really beginning to wonder on that too. So
yes. I do wish the game would stop sending me emails with people telling me information I already know, or give me a new tutorial, or call me on the radio and be like, Sam, we really need you to go to the wind farm. And then someone else 3 seconds later calls you like, Sam, I heard you're on your way to a wind farm. Just be sure to get there as fast as you can. You're like, okay, yeah. And then six different people call you.
Did you get those cover sheets for the new TPS reports?
It does feel a little like that. Or you finish a delivery, so you unlock the ability to have a bike or whatever. And then I kid you not, 3 different characters come onto the little hologram screen because you talk to characters mostly through holograms in this game. 3 different characters come on back to back to tell you that you can build vehicles now. Like, why would you write this like this?
So you overkill on the communication for that, but like the stuff that you actually want to know, nope, we're not going to tell you that.
But I feel like I'm going to get there. I feel like I'm going to get the information.
There's one quest that I'm curious if you've done yet, Zach. The chiral artist.
I don't think so.
So
are they?
There are deliveries that occasionally occur in this game where you have to deliver live human bodies. So
still alive?
Yes. Okay. So basically, you like there's a quest where you take a dead body.
Yeah, right near the beginning of the game.
Yeah, I did that one.
So there's some quests in this game where you will put a live body on your back in the same like zip up suit, and they sit there and just talk to you the whole time. And every time there's something, don't hurt me.
That's awesome. Oh, I can't wait. That's some Kojima weirdness. I delivered a pizza.
Yeah, I did too.
In 30 minutes or less. That is the objective. Keep it piping hot.
So let me just say one more thing about this game, and this is what I told CB when we talked about this extensively on the phone the other day.
Why did you waste the podcast conversation?
I don't know. He called me and wanted to talk about it.
What a jerk.
I was irritated at the moment, so...
Yeah, he needed to vent, I think is what it was. And then I still went and rented it anyway, even though he vented like that to me. But here's the thing, is I went into this game expecting just to absolutely hate it. But I tried to go with an open mind, and I was actually pleasantly surprised with what I got in terms of the story and this world building and how genuinely interested in was what was going on. I haven't played a game in so long where I want it to be a TV series instead of a game that I'm playing. And that means something coming from me, Zach, because you know that I would much rather experience a story by playing it instead of just watching it. And this one, I want to just watch it. Every time I got to sit the controller down and just watch these cutscenes unfold, I enjoyed it.
Yeah, I mean, I understand. It is a lot of fun to watch. And the story is endlessly interesting to me. You know what, Scott? Like, I always complain about games being too long. And this weekend, I put almost like 20 hours into Death Stranding, which is a lot for me these days.
That's nuts.
And I want to play more. Like, I rented this game, and the rental is over. I'm going to go buy the game now.
Holy cow!
Because I love this game is doing. It's great. I'm still not going to beat it before Star Wars. There's just no way.
Right.
But this game, I don't know. I do. Like, part of me just wants to support it because it is so, at its budget level, it's very bold.
Yeah.
To make a $60 game about walking with this like amount of money and marketing behind it, that's crazy. And I guess what I really appreciate more than anything is I don't know what's around the next corner.
Yeah, I like that
Very
as well
true.
too.
I have no idea Yeah, I did not expect this game to have boss fights, for instance.
Mhm.
And then there was a boss fight. And I did not expect to get like a bola gun. I didn't expect it. I didn't even know if there would be vehicles or not. And I certainly didn't expect to build bridges and roads with a community of other gamers. I'm pretty happy I didn't watch really any gameplay about this. Video games are so homogenized, and you always know what you're going to get, and they all have like the same skill trees and the same pacing and everything. And here's something doing something different. I really respect the hell out of that.
I do too, but it's also got to be fun for me.
Yeah, I was gonna say and that's not, yeah. Well, what's fun about that gamble is it's not always going to land, and obviously it didn't work. It didn't work as much for CB, and it worked even less for you. But
I'm still playing it. I mean,
yeah, it's.
I feel that we
want to
have
see it
one
to the
person at
end.
like one end of the spectrum, one person in the middle, and then one person that's like, I love this.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love this. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sure, and it could flake out by the end. It could overstay its welcome, but right now the pacing of getting new stuff and doing new things is such to where I feel like I've talked about this before, about how we need to like get back to the Zelda way of things where they give you new items to do new things. I feel like this game is doing that.
Well, and to your point about the Zelda comparison, even in Zelda, you know what you're heading towards. You know what I mean? You're going to come across a shrine. You don't know what's in the shrine, right? But you know that you're going to have to go complete a puzzle inside a shrine. You know that
Right.
you're going to have to fight some enemies, and you're going to have to replace your weapons. In Death Stranding, you don't know what is going to come. When you say around the corner, you mean both physically, like around the corner, but you don't know what the game is going to throw at you in terms of gameplay and stuff afterwards too, which I get, and I like that. I can't get over how bored I was anytime I had to touch a controller.
Some deliveries go a little long, but I do like just playing with the physics and experimenting in the game world. And again, I'm just listening to podcasts anyway.
And I mean, there's no time constraint, right? Like you can take as much time as you want to deliver a package. There's no.
Yeah, I mean, there are some that'll have the objectives of a time limit,
Mm-hmm.
but those are, and you can even shorten it later on if you want to challenge yourself
Right.
on delivering. But no, yeah, most of them are just kind of be leisurely go at your own pace. I kept describing it as a Zen game, like it just kind of chills me out.
Right.
Like I kind of like that.
And I think that might be a me problem because I can't zen out when I'm playing the game.
You're always thinking about what you could be doing.
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
life.
It's a personal problem. I don't know how to fix it, but well, that is Death Stranding. That was quite a full circle, different.
Yeah. I guess I recommend it. Like CB, I don't know. Scott, I think pretty safely I could say is not recommending this game.
I was going to say I would recommend this game as a rental first before you go
it's on
full on
Redbox.
commitment.
If nothing else, it's worth checking out because it is something different.
Even like a $3 Redbox rental for a day just to see the opening and how this game looks and just how well the story is told and matter of factly, that's worth $3. And if the gameplay you absolutely hate it, then go watch a YouTube video like I'm probably gonna do because I'm not gonna play this anymore.
And what a great reminder of why Metal Gear Solid 5 did not work because Kojima tried to make a video game with no storytelling.
Yeah.
With minimal cutscenes. And that's clearly not how he makes games well.
Right.
So Death Stranding, play the hell out of it. So good.
Or not.
So good.
But that's up to you.
Fence. I'm on the fence.
We're gonna move.
I want to see how this thing concludes.
I do too, actually. I really do. I want to see how it goes at all because I just barely scratched the surface. But I do want to move on. We're over 2 hours, so we got to move a little quickly here. CB, talk to me a little bit about Disney classic games, Aladdin and The Lion King. I did touch it a little bit this week as well. Do those games still hold up?
Aladdin most definitely does. Game's still fun. For those of you that don't know, it's just basically a bundle of the 16-bit era Aladdin and Lion King game.
But multiple versions. Like there's the Japanese versions in there. There's an up-res version. There's classic version.
There's the hidden E3 demo version.
Yeah.
So which I did beat.
Crazy. Yeah.
It's hard. It definitely with some of the other versions like the E3 version, when I played through the original game, I remember there being spots I'm like, man, it seems like there should have been an enemy here. But then playing through like the E3 demo version, there actually was an enemy in that spot.
Oh, interesting.
So there's actually enemies that had alternate versions, like Iago's character is different in the demo version. And then there's like a different character type that's in one of the spots. So that was actually completely removed from the game. And then they do a lot of like showing how the game was made. Like they have little mini documentaries. Lion King, I just started playing through that one, which was a game
that
I actually never
hard,
beat.
Man. That game is so hard.
Has anybody beaten it? I mean, come on.
I
Jordan
have, but I
Derringer
use
High
cheat
beat it.
codes. Yeah, he actually posted in the group that he beat it today.
He lied.
No, he actually
there's no
screenshot the
cheats on
cutscene.
there.
I was just joking. Jeez.
Must defend. But no, it's fun. It's cute, especially if you like playing older games. It's definitely something I would recommend for people who are trying to find games for their kids to play that are family friendly. So just expect some frustration.
Well, I was going to say family friendly is subjective there because the content is family friendly, but man, that first level of Lion King will frustrate seasoned gamers.
Well, like the other Disney game, it has a rewind button.
Does this have rewind in it?
Yep, it just doesn't say it on the screen, but if you hold down the left bumper, it rewinds.
Oh, see, I didn't know that. I actually cheated even more hardcore than a rewind. Both of these games have a watch mode in it, where you can actually just watch a playthrough of the game. Because I did not feel like being frustrated, but I wanted to take a look at the game, so I fired up and watched an entire playthrough of Aladdin, because I have played that game but never finished it, and I wanted to see what it looked like, and that looks way more fun than Lion King does.
You got time to watch Aladdin, you ain't got time to deliver packages.
Yes.
Yep.
Well, I was doing other stuff.
You could have watched Aladdin while you were delivering packages.
No, I couldn't have.
Side-by-side TV just set to auto walk.
I may or may not have watched an episode of The Flash while playing Death Stranding.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
No,
just to give you an idea of how boring walking is.
Or how long it takes, but it's still peaceful.
So this game is so good, I had to put on a television show while I was playing it. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what you're
But then
saying.
when Reed started talking, I was like, oh, this is interesting.
So, but yeah, Aladdin and Lion King, I recommend it. Right now it is a little pricey for what you're getting, because I believe it was like $30.
Mhm.
So I would honestly wait for this one to hit a sale. Like it feels good at the $20 price point. So, but overall, yeah, it's a fun reminder of my childhood. So,
And I love the chip-tune versions of the music from those movies.
yep.
They just work really well.
So,
All right, and you've also been playing a game called Football Game.
Football, the game.
yeah. But you don't play any football in this game.
Perfectly named then.
I just wanted to bring this one up because I know there's achievement hunters out there. The game's really cheap. It's about hour and a half point and click adventure of a guy named Tommy who's a football player, and he's trying to find his girlfriend before the big game.
That's the whole story.
So you can get lucky?
Nope. So
Oh.
has a surprise twist at the end of the game.
Oh. She a demon?
No.
That would have been a surprise twist. That's all.
So-
Time traveler?
Nope. So
Damn.
it has a very interesting twist, and you're like, okay, because it ends very abruptly. It's just like surprise end, and you're like, there's no payoff on this. What's going on?
Well, yeah, he didn't get lucky.
So, it almost feels like the Atari 8-bit like cutscenes. Like it doesn't quite feel full 8-bit. So it reminds me very much like early 90s computers, like side scrolling, where it's just like
Oh, gotcha.
dirt. So it was made by Radalika Games. I've played a few of theirs.
Great Laka.
Yeah, I could never say it right. But it's an easy 1,000 achievement points for those of you who like chasing like I do. So
Well, it's funny you mentioned that, man, because I played one that was also very easy achievement points, which Zach talked about a few episodes ago. I played through One Night Stand.
Oh yeah,
I played through it too.
I like it.
Yeah, and that's an interesting little game. Takes about an hour to get all those achievement points, and there are some interesting ways that story can go.
Panties, indeed.
I still love the animation for that game.
Yeah, I do too. They look.
It's very The Last Express.
The Last Express.
With a Jordan Mechner game set in World War I, where you're interviewing people on a train. I guess not.
I have not.
Well, it also looks like Prince of Persia.
Oh, there you go.
Rotoscoped.
Also, I finished Control last night.
Finally,
I told you would have to by Game of the Year time.
Yes, and I did it in plenty of time to spare. I thought I beat it. Saw credits roll.
Hey, say that for the spoiler cast.
Yeah. But there
you
is
still beat it.
Right, I beat it, but
but there's a point where you think you've beat the game, and then all of a sudden you're like, oh, what?
Okay.
I will say that I love how this game plays. I've never felt more at home playing a third-person shooter as I have with Control so early on. The ashtray maze, freaking awesome. I just wanted to stand up and pump my fist in the air.
I'm honestly surprised at this point that it could possibly live up to the hype people built up.
Well, it didn't quite live up to the hype, but still, I feel like Jessie's reaction when she walked out of the ashtray maze was exactly what was going on in my head. Like it was great.
Jessie in general has some pretty tremendous reactions.
She does all around, yeah.
Yeah, she really reacts like a human being would.
I actually today cleaned up and got all the achievements on it too, so I got the full 1,000 for that game.
The platinum,
which is
there's a really cool recurring boss I can't wait to ask you about on the spoiler cast.
Oh,
I know the exact one you're talking about.
I think I might as well, but we'll save it for the spoiler cast. So, Zach, anything else you got besides your 20 hours of Death Stranding?
Yeah, mostly just Death Stranding. Pop into a Warframe here and there, but
all right.
Yeah, just Death Stranding.
CB, how about you?
I've also been cleaning up Control because I keep coming back to that game. I love it.
It's a really great game.
I really want to talk to you guys freely about that game on an episode. We need to make that happen this month.
Yes, we do.
But until then, that's going to do it for this episode of The Gaming Outsider. Zach, any parting words, recommendations for the listeners? What comics should they read this week?
Oh, I mean, the Green Lantern Black Stars is absolutely tremendous. Grant Morrison continues his run on Green Lantern. We're in an alternate universe. It's a lot of fun. Also, watch Batwoman. It's a hell of a show.
All right, CP, what about you?
Swamp Thing, the live-action TV series. Watch it. It's actually
a DC Universe exclusive.
It's actually really good, and I'm really pissed that they canceled it. So,
DC Universe only $7.99 a month, and it's worth every penny.
There you go.
This episode's sponsored by DC Comics.
I'm going to make a recommendation this week as well, too. A band that I really like a lot goes by the name of Amaranthi, and they have a new album called The Helix that I did not even realize was out until my buddy Mike reminded me this weekend, and we listened to it on the way up to Milwaukee, and I listened to it today while I was snow blowing, and that is a solid album if you like heavy music. If you like the music from the Ashtray Maze.
I was going to say, with this music play during the Ashtray Maze?
You might like Amaranthi. It's a little bit different style, but it's very metal-ish like that, and very powerful. They've got 3 singers in that band, 2 males and a female. And it is a very full-sounding band, and this album is awesome. Although there's one song, I want you to go listen to this track, Zach. I know you're not big into music at all, or especially metal, but there's a track on there called Inferno. I swear it sounds like The Shape of You by Ed Sheeran.
Okay.
Go listen to that song and tell me that does not sound like Shape of You.
For your information, one of the 2 musical concerts I ever went to was a metal concert.
Oh, yeah? Which one was it?
Thank you. It was a band called Force Fed Chaos.
Oh, I've not heard of them.
They were a Rockford local. They had an album deal, and the lead singer went insane. So, not literally insane, just he sucked as a human being.
Gotcha. Also, if you like football, especially the Green Bay Packers, please be sure to check out my other podcast, Packers Fan Podcast, which can be heard the same place that you listen to this episode. But until next week, I'm Scott Clark with Zach Parkerson and Chris Behrensmeyer, and we are the gaming outsider. And remember, there's no such thing as a bad game, just games that aren't for you.